It's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, and happy Wednesday. It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show where we basically talk about all the things going on in celebrity news, hot topics, pop culture, all the things that's going on in the, that's trending. We talk about it on the show. So, before we go live, we are live. Wait, hold on, because I got distracted. I was just eating. So, let me take out my tooth real quick. I was eating some dumplings, but I was like, I need to eat something real quick before I come on camera and start talking, because I be on here for a minute and I'd be like, hunger pains, all the other stuff. I ain't want to deal with it. So to get back to the show, so if you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, and also be sure to smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Excuse me. And so we have some news. We're going to talk about Diddy, of course, because some more stuff has come out today, including what actually was in that baby oil. I think people's assessments of it was correct. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about possible two actors who had one of the biggest movies of the year, who are in the running to host the, and Deadline did the story, host the Oscars. We have some Kanye news. We got to talk some Housewives stuff. Brandi, Glanville, Dina, Manzo. Nigel Lythgoe is slamming those claims that Paula Abdul made against him. Chris Brown is out here being a troll and getting backlash for it. We got some Safaree, bum news on what he's this little stunt he's trying to pull to get out of that child support. We're going to talk about Tia and Tamara. We haven't talked about them in a minute. There was some, I was going to talk about them couple of episodes ago because there was some stuff coming out, but I just felt like this topic particularly was interesting, so I was like, okay, so now I feel like I got something from the whole Tia Tamara. Allegedly there's some issues between them as sisters. I feel like there's now what I found out about this story that came out yesterday. Now I can kind of give my overall thoughts on what's going on between them, or what we may think is going on between them. So of course we got some tea on Fat Joe, Ananda Lewis, Cooper Koch's Cooper Koch in that scene, if you know, in Monsters, and I'm not talking about episode 5 where he gave like this 40-minute monologue. That, and then we're going to talk about Supernatural actor DJ Qualls. He got a little more candid about his coming out journey, and he said a certain producer didn't want to hire him because he was a F word. So we're going to talk about that and anything else that's popping up. There was a lot of stuff that was going on, and I was already out earlier today. I'm a little upset because I realized I lost my damn chapstick, so I was going to try to put that on early in the show because, I didn't want to be licking my lips like LL Cool J, and by the time the show was over, I got a huge ring. My lips is chapped. My lips is burning. Not from the hurt, but why am I reading myself? So I didn't want to do, well, if I don't, then who will, right? So I will read me before I let you read me, bitch. So we got that and a whole lot more. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on, but I was like, I need to zhuzh things down. I need to put a show together because I was busy earlier. And then I even tried to, I did. I squeezed in a damn workout, which is where I left my damn chapstick in the locker at the gym. So I'm mad, and I could have sworn I put it in my pocket. I was searching everywhere, and that was some good chapstick too. But anyway, so yeah, please do me a solid, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and also smash that notification button if you haven't already. It definitely helps with the algorithm. I'm trying to grow this channel. All of your subscriptions, your comments, all this stuff is well appreciated. I love interacting back and forth with the fans. I'm trying not to be so damn defensive in certain things. I'm gonna just let people let people say what they say. That was the reason why I created this channel. Like, regardless of differences of opinion, we could all be, we could all have a logistical, is that even the right word to use? We can have a good conversation without having to just be cussing people out. But when you all say some bigoted stuff, it's like, it'd be hard sometimes. And I'd be like, these are the trolls that don't even subscribe to the damn channel coming up here with their ignorance. But I do appreciate those who every now and again will chime in with some stuff, even those who aren't the regulars. Because I had some people yesterday that wrote me a nice little letter and stuff in one of the comments. And it was like, oh, I'm a fan of the channel. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not familiar with you, but, thank you, number one. And number two, I appreciate the little things. So there's that. Let me look at the comments because I see I got a couple. Oh, you said, check your inbox, add this story last, but Josh Cedar, a bachelorette, fame fake being trained. Ew. See, this is why I don't like people like this. And these are the ones that I have. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to add that, but I'm going to see, like, okay, so you said somebody from Bachelorette fake being trans is a way to show how sick anybody but straight is. And it's like, when you go and do this stuff, these nut job GOPers who are pulling stunts and shows, it's just like, I'm over it. I just can't wait till this damn voting situation is over. But I heard it was a huge turnout in Georgia. So shout out to y'all. And all that good stuff. But it's like, yeah, this is definitely like, this is gonna be a historical moment, whichever way we sway. Hopefully it don't sway his way. But it does feel like that this is gonna be some historical stuff that's going down in regards to like with all the crap that's going on. I even thought about I did the Trump article about him and playing the music and all that stuff, and I was gonna bring it into the show, but I was like, I don't want to make this show political. Like, I'll say stuff in passing and give my overall thoughts depending on the situation. Like when I said about Zachary Levi, who's an idiot and misinformed, and I feel like is just mad because his career is the way it is, and that's why he's trying to hide behind Trump. But for the most part, it's just like, I don't want to make this a political show unless I decide to go that route and do a political thing. I want to keep it strictly entertainment. And maybe just throw the political stuff on my websites with all that. Oh yeah, I did see that they said they're not doing a Halloween show. And I'm sitting there like, but what that got to do with the election? The election is next month. I'm gonna still do my Halloween show. It's like, why not do a Halloween show? I just feel like the viewer just it's not fun. Like, y'all just too into the politics. Like, and y'all would never like that. Yeah, y'all would talk about hot topics and y'all would talk about what's going on current, but y'all would not just the political show. That's not, I don't think, what Barbara Walters wanted the show to be. She wanted to show different women with different points of view, but y'all lean too heavy on the politics. And I feel like a lot of times they say they allow difference of opinion, but I do be feeling like sometimes Whoopi be acting like her opinion is the only opinion that matters. And it's like, miss, you are not always correct in some of the stuff you say. But I love you. You an EGOT, well deserved. You know, looking forward to working them shows when you was Miss Hannigan over there at the theater at Madison Square Garden. However, sometimes when you be saying some of the stuff you be saying, because you come across very much like one of those capitalistic Democrats, she be blowing my mind with some of the stuff she be saying. But I did love that read that you and Sonny Hostin gave when y'all read Trump down to the floor. That was a cackle. And then on Monday, when Anna Navarro read him for that not blending his damn skin. Speaking of which, there was this girl, and I want to take her picture so bad and post it on social media, but I didn't want to be one of those type of trolls or bullies or whatever. I'm sitting there looking at her like, what kind of lighting you have in your house? Because do you not realize how you look? With the way she beat her face, like literally, she's like a Spanish girl. The rest of her skin looked like mine, but her face literally looked like Chappell when she get on the stage. But we understand that's Chappell in drag. So we know she beats her face to make it look more white. But I'm like, yo, I don't know what type of foundation you're using, but you supposed to blend. That's like drag 101. Or even I think it's just makeup 101. And I don't even wear makeup. I mean, I've had to wear makeup when I've been in music videos and I've had to been on set for things. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, blend it. Why do you look white? When it's not even your natural complexion. So it's unfortunate they're not doing a Halloween show. I remember, you know what I think I'm gonna start doing in the future? I didn't do it this year, but I think maybe I should do get dressed up for Halloween, but I think I'm gonna wait until 2025 and do that. This year, there's a lot going on. I ain't gonna have time to do that. Maybe I'll just do like all the gays do. It's like, yeah, if I'm gonna be a ghost, I'm gonna just wear a white harness. And nothing else. Next year, I'm gonna be a serial killer. So I'll just wear like, a knife, hold a knife with a harness, the little gay joke. It's like, we always try to find a way to, with all our Halloween costumes, we just wear a harness and a jock strap and just throw a little something with it and call it a costume. That ain't no damn costume. That's basically what we wear all year round. We go to the club. But anyway, let me hit my banner and let's get into the show. So the first topic that we have is there's rumors that were swirling that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are in talks to host the Academy Awards next year. So I know a lot of people probably want Deadpool and Wolverine because it's $1 billion grossing movie and all that other stuff to get nominated for an Oscar. Like Ryan Reynolds probably get Best Actor, Hugh Jackman get Best Supporting Actor, what's his name? Sean Levy gets Best Director. Then they get Best Screenwriter. First of all, it was like 5 people that wrote that damn script. Probably even more. So I don't see that happening. I also don't see the best actor, best supporting actor, and best director. They're not going to win that. You know, in the Oscars, when it comes to superhero films, unless you're kind of like teetering on the serious, like The Dark Knight, that's the only thing that's getting nominated because they want to teeter on serious. If you're a little too shiny and comic booky, they don't take those movies seriously. You have a better chance of winning an award at the Movie and TV Awards with MTV before you get the Oscar because they don't take those type of films seriously. And I wish they would in certain places take if comic books teeter on like realism and seriousness, like a Dark Knight type thing. I really wish they would kind of take those films seriously, similar to like Penguin. I really hope they clean up at the 2025 Emmys because that is such a good damn show. It's a really good show. Every week I'm just like loving the show even more, especially the Sophia Falcone episode that just aired. Like, just give her all the damn Emmys at this point. I'm tired of the Bear and all of them the same ones getting Succession, even though Succession's done. But I'm tired of all the same ones. But this ain't about the Emmys. Let's get into the Oscars. So I feel like while Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, I don't see them getting the Oscar for that movie. And Deadpool and Wolverine was fun. It was entertaining. But in regards of the overall assessment, it is not worth winning Oscars. Not in those major categories. And y'all know how the Oscars teeter anyway. The Oscars is all about, nose in the air, she, foo, foo. Like, it's all about, stuff that y'all gonna wait till streaming or whatever to watch. And y'all actually not gonna go to the movies unless you're like one of those uppity movie snobs that goes and supports those type of films. Majority of the people are not going to go see the films that are going to get nominated. Y'all don't see the ones that was nominated last year. Oh, wait, Oppenheimer was nominated before. So everybody went to see that. That was a $1 billion film. That's the exception of the rule. But in regards to this whole thing, I do think that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds would be perfect as the co-host of the Oscars. And to me, it's like, I feel like with comedians, people don't really, I don't know. I don't want to use the word woke and all this other stuff, but people get so easily offended right now where it's like you can't tell jokes. Celebrities have gotten too damn sensitive. Like, I miss the days when Chris Rock used to do the VMAs and the jokes that they would throw up in there, we would cackle our behinds off. He held no prisoners. But now these days, everybody's sensitive. Everybody got to spare their feelings and all this other stuff. And I miss those days of like comedians could just take off the thing and be creative with the jokes. But if you're going to have the Oscars happen, I do think because of their quick wit, you can let Ryan be his little silly, quick-witted self. And then if Hugh Jackman plays up that serious, straight-faced, bantering type of guy with the like deadpan humor, like very much Rose from the Golden Girls. If you allow him to kind of do that, which is like the deadpannedness, and let Ryan just go, I feel like it would be perfect. Perfect assessment. Kind of similar to like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Like, I can see them kind of bringing that whole type of zhuzh. Or even, I'll say, the Levys, as in Sean Levy and Eugene, who people seem to love when they hosted the Emmys last month. So, according to Deadline, they said the Oscar host hunt is on, and reliable sources tell Deadline that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are in the mix. The plan we hear would be to include them as part of the star ensemble of rotating hosts, each or in pairs, doing a portion of the show per a plan to shake things up. But they're saying an ensemble of rotating hosts. I don't like that idea because y'all did that before. When y'all had 3 people up there. Who was it? It was Amy Unfunny Ass Schumer, Wanda Sykes, I believe, and then there was one other person. Oh my God, I forgot the actress name. Brenda from Scary Movie. Y'all had the 3 of them up in there. I didn't like that whole mix. Now, Brenda from Scary Movie was the best part. The other 2, y'all can just threw them away. But for the most part, Miss Brenda, I hate the fact that I cannot remember her damn name right now, but I would just refer to her as a character from Scary Movie. So, I like the fact that I didn't like that whole idea, but the fact that when you have somebody that has actual chemistry that can play off of each other, I think that would be a good idea. So they said in this regard, Deadline also heard from sources that such stars as Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler, and Dwayne Johnson have also been heard. No, I don't like it. I like Will Ferrell, but not for this. Amy Poehler is only good, no shade, with Tina Fey. And Dwayne Johnson, no. Sorry, I don't think so. I honestly think, as far as like a host, John Cena is funnier than him. And they said, not really surprising since it seems Johnson's fame is floated every year, but he has for various reasons resistance. Well, he has for various reasons resisted. And we have heard Paula's name on the Academy wish list ever since she successfully hosted the Golden Globes with Tina Fey. Having Reynolds and Jackman prominently on the show would make perfect sense. Now, of course, the pair are the title stars of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is the number two movie of 2024's globally with 1.33 billion worldwide. And the reason why it's number two is because Inside Out, the original Inside Out, they said grossed $1.69 billion. I thought Inside Out 2 would have, because Inside Out 2 is a huge hit. Speaking of which, I totally keep forgetting it's on Disney Plus, so I need to watch it. The threequel comes from Disney, which also owns okay, we don't need to know about. We know it's with ABC because The View loves letting us know. Oh, parent company members, ABC. Like, we know that Disney owns you. So, and then the 97th annual Academy, 97 damn years, annual Academy Awards comes out on March 2nd of 2025. And I should say that this is not Hugh Jackman's first time hosting the Oscars, because he did it in 2009. And this was when it was produced by Bill Condon and Larry Mark. And Reynolds is the kind, of personality that I feel like it would be good. I also think, like, would he be willing to poke fun at kind of like all the things of pop culture, kind of like he did in Deadpool and Wolverine, and maybe even poke fun at Blake Lively and the fact of, that whole controversy that happened with her in that damn movie that she came out with her and the director. So I do wonder if they'll kind of bring that in there. They also said this also points the question of Disney and Marvel's actual planned Oscar campaign. So they feel like they're trying to push them so that way they can get nominated. Where they said that they've heard that Reynolds would be campaigned for lead actor and Jackman for supporting. And as I said before, I don't see that happening. I just do not see you two doing actor best supporting. I mean, if we want to entertain the fact that, okay, we'll just throw them a bone, then we'll do that. But please don't turn into the VMAs where, so y'all just gonna give Katy Perry whatever because she's the only one that actually showed up for the stuff. Like, we're not going to do that. Don't make the political game so obvious that y'all aren't even trying to hide it no more. Because that's what's been happening in a lot of situations. It's like, y'all not even trying to hide the fact that y'all pulling stunts and shows. It's giving very much RuPaul's Drag Race. So they said, well, they want to commit. With that also looming as this award season starts to take hold, of course, there are other factors afoot, and the Academy and its producers have been teasing. So now it's funny, they put it in here. So it was Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes. I was like, Brenda? But it was like, yeah, I love Regina Hall. Amy Schumer ain't never, like Seinfeld, I ain't never laughed at one joke that they said. And I like Wanda Sykes, but I'm going to just leave it at that. And they said, but their whole hosting situation got overshadowed by the slap. We don't need to go into that because Google is your friend, and I'm sure y'all know what I mean when I talk about the slap, the infamous slap. So Deadline also heard that about Kevin Hart and Chris Rock's possibilities at one point, but it seems they are not in the mix. Rock hosted the show in 2005 and 2016, and most recently appeared in 2022 to present Best Documentary Feature. And then you already know what happened with that because it relates to the slap again. And Kevin Hart, remember, he was supposed to host it before, but then the homophobic jokes that he was telling started to resurface. And he was like, very much, he doubled down on what he had said. He refused to apologize, and that may have hurt him, which, started people with this woke stuff, as they love to do anytime anybody has an opinion that they agree with that other people disagree with. Y'all want to throw around the woke word. So what they're basically saying is that with Chris Rock, he says he made it clear earlier this year that he won't ever host the Oscars when he told Sky News what he thinks the problem is. He said, wait, I want to make sure. Okay, it was Chris Rock because I'm sitting here looking at Jimmy Kimmel picture. While I'm reading this, I was like, I want to make sure I got the right person who actually made the comment. He said those gigs aren't good for comics. It's a no shot to the Oscars, no shot to the Globes or anything else. Those just aren't comedy-friendly environments anymore. I think they got it right one year when it was like just a bunch of personalities acting as the host, and that's a nice thing. It's a collaborative thing. Different people get to be responsible for Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. But you know, the days of it being a room for a comic, those days are done. And I do agree because the times have shifted, things have changed. You know, you got all these people with their think pieces all over social media where they want to sit and talk about, oh, well, you know, this award show was a hot mess. You know who you YouTubers are that be doing them videos, or want to call out every problematic situation that existed back in the day when we used to watch award shows. And yeah, we all sat and kikied and cackled. But I do feel like now, when it comes to these type of shows, maybe the best thing to do is, like with the Tonys, have a song and dance people host. Y'all trying to incorporate that idea into the Oscars. I think it's perfect to just have actors who actually have a personality, and a song and dance guy like and Ryan Reynolds got some moves too, so that will work for him. And Hugh Jackman's a great singer. He's a good dancer. He's an overall great performer. He's proven that he's an amazing, performer. He's charismatic, and that's what people want. So I feel like maybe the future of the Oscars is that we need to just have song and dance people or actors hosting the show. Those who have the ability to host, and those who actually have a personality, and don't just be putting any old, celebrity up in there. But they also say whoever hosts in whatever way, they will need to be convinced they have plenty of time to prepare, or at least get comfortable doing such a high profile appearance. And and basically they're saying that this year does not appear to have the audience hook of a Barbenheimer showdown to goose ratings. Because yeah, Barbie and Oppenheimer did kind of goose things. The movies was kind of rough in regards of like big tentpole blockbuster films. I mean, Fall Guy flopped. Furiosa flopped. There was a lot of movies that didn't do well. And I feel like the only thing that has really been doing good, and these are movies that, well, animation, comic, and animation, Hollywood eats that up. Now, horror had a good year as well, but y'all like to thumb y'all nose at horror and act like y'all too good for horror films. So we already know that's not even the place where they're even going to entertain horror, because look at Silence of the Lambs. We don't know Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie, but in order for them to get nominated for the Oscars that they did, they had to call it a psychological thriller. So we know how snotty the Oscars are. They're not willing to update and evolve with the times. I'm not saying that y'all need to, nominate some old cheesy billion-dollar action movie for Best Picture, but you kind of need to broaden your horizons a little bit. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of that story? Would you actually love to see Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds host the Oscars? I actually think that they would be a pretty good choice. I would actually watch the Oscars this year. I mean, I don't even know what's being nominated. We guess we're going to have to see what it is. I mean, maybe, I was thinking maybe, because I did hear that they're trying to get Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande to get nominated for Wicked. So maybe Wicked will be the hook. Although the story that I got coming up about Wicked and Cynthia Erivo going in on the fans over them making their little fan posters and all this other stuff, and how she was in her feelings about it, she might have shot herself in the foot. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now, you said Demi Moore getting best. Well, she should get. I think, in my opinion, she should get a thing for that. And first of all, Hollywood eats that stuff up. Besides the horror, the body horror that happens within the third act, I do think that all this talk that Demi Moore is getting, especially this is like her comeback movie, I do think that she should be in the conversation. Now, if people want to say, if Hollywood wants to get all stank or whatever about the fact that it's a horror movie, whatever, y'all can sit and spin, but just get out of your uptightness and look at it for a second. It's like, look at the performance, and I do think that she should get nominated. And Regina Hall, I also love her as Brenda. Exactly, that's why I call her Brenda. That's all I know her many of things, but Girls Trip and so many other movies, but she'll always be Brenda to me. So it's like, even if I can't remember somebody's name, I'm gonna just refer to them by their character. So my Amy favorite humor. has been branded sexist by men, basically making fun of their love for being masculine. I mean, quiet as his cat. Amy Schumer looked masculine her damn self. So I don't know why she out here trying to read somebody about their masculinity. It's like, shit, bitch. Your damn back is, you looking real, you looking a little big back your damn self. They even said that's probably where the hatred of masculine men began. Really? Because I wasn't even thinking about that when it came to her. You said, wait, what? Hold on a second. Oh my God, he did die. Hold on now. Breaking news. And this, oh damn, he died the same way as Sophie, which basically is like he fell from the 3rd floor in Argentina. Hold on, now I gotta make this a damn topic. Please hold. I am gagging right now. Like, I was not expecting that to be on the docket. I'm like, wasn't there? I could have sworn that they were just talking about him. On something. What was it? I just had to put a RIP. But hold on. Cause it was like, damn, it was like what I have to remember where was Sophie when she passed? Because I know that she was trying to look at the moon. And oh yeah, because well, child, Maya Henry, you better take your legal action back because there was something that was going on with him and he was about to be sued or there was about to be a lawsuit and now he is he gone. Cause this is crazy. I said, hold on, because now it's like I gotta add this to the docket. Damn, and see, this is how I know my computer's listening to me. Cause this damn scene with Miss Mamas just came up. Demi Moore. Anyway, so okay, so I got the story. Let me hold on because this is breaking news. It's like I hate when I'm in the middle, like I start acting frantic. Because I had to find a picture real quick. Okay, so so according to reports, let me pull that picture up. It says, in a heartbreaking turn of events, Liam Payne, the former member of the globally renowned boy band One Direction, was found dead at the age of 31 in a hotel in Buenos Aires. The tragic incident occurred on Wednesday when the singer reportedly fell from the 3rd floor of the Casa Sur Hotel located on the Palermo district. Authorities were called to the hotel following reports of a man behaving aggressively, believed to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Well, child, this is the tea that Cheryl Hole, that's the drag queen. Cheryl Cole was saying that he was on some things. And that's why their relationship did what it did. So authorities were called to the hotel following reports of a man behaving aggressively, believed to be under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Emergency responders from SAME, which is their emergency medical care system, arrived at the scene, but sadly they confirmed that he had already passed away. As investigations continue, police are looking into the possibility of they told me he may have unalived himself versus an accidental fall. Friends and fans alike are left in shock, grappling with the loss of a talented artist whose music touched millions. As the music community comes together to remember Payne's contributions, many are reflecting on the impact he made during his time with One Direction and beyond. The investigation is ongoing and more details are expected to emerge in the coming days. So this is all we have so far. We don't really have any more information on it, but they were saying he was erratic, he was under the influence, and he might have, I mean, how are you erratic and then you just fall off the thing? And then I just mentioned to y'all that there was a lawsuit that came out against him. 31 is so damn young though. Maya Henry, which came out yesterday. So let's get into that story because, so in case y'all haven't heard, so she's his ex-fiance, and they said she started legal proceedings against her former flame. The Texan model is what they refer to her, has instructed lawyers to issue a cease and desist letter to the One Direction star after accusing him of repeatedly contacting her. So they're basically saying like he's stalking. The brunette beauty has also accused the singer of obsessively contacting her friends and family including her mother, Azteca Henry. So, and it says lawyers. Hold on, let me show y'all that. So it said lawyers for the star told Mail Online Maya Henry issued a cease and desist to Liam Payne following the emergence of new and concerning information. Oh Lord, why do I care about Harry? I don't care about Harry and Meghan. So, and this is one thing I hate about Daily Mail. They will put a laundry list of photos, like a whole collage, and then they write a damn novel when it comes to their articles. But I guess you got to be detailed when you're from the UK. This is just the latest in the former couple's bitter feud. And last week, the model accused Liam of playing on the loyalty of diehard One Direction fans across social media to pillory her. The singer stop and start 3-year relationship came to an end in 2022, almost a year after the former couple called off their engagement. The Strip That Down For Me singer has since moved on with new girlfriend Kate Cassidy. Well, I wonder if she was there with him when the incident happened. While Maya continues to promote her debut novel, Looking Forward, an art imitating life romance about a girl who falls in love with a pop star. Oh, gee, I wonder where she got that idea from. So they said, sharing a brutal assessment of Liam, with TikTok followers last week, Maya, the daughter of multimillionaire personal injury lawyer Thomas J. Henry, claimed he had gone to extraordinary lengths to attempt to contact her, saying, ever since we broke up, he messages me, will blow up my phone, not only from his phone, it's always from a different phone, from different phone numbers. I never know when it's going to come from. So you have a whole new girlfriend, but you contacting your old girlfriend? And since he got a baby with Cheryl Cole, has he been in the life of that baby, and does he even have a relationship with her? So, I'm curious, but regardless of all that, I guess it don't matter no more because he's not here. Oh wait, where is that? I want to close that. Look, he's not here anymore. So unfortunately, that's the latest news on that. Sorry to hear that Liam Payne had passed away. As soon as I get more details on this, I will let you guys know. But be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say on this story. Okay. Yes, he did. He says someone check on Cheryl and Bear. Oh yeah, because he has a son named Bear. Well, I'm sure it's only a matter of time we will hear Cheryl speak out. I mean, she has a kid with him. But yeah, that's shocking. I was not expecting to hear that right now. All right, so I hate to have to make this transition, but let's go from Liam Payne to the Diddler. Because apparently they're saying the lawyers is asking of Diddy, I should say, wants the names. They pull on a sudden track, name them. They want y'all to name the victims, which I have to say, this is a typical tactic from bullies and things of that nature that want you to intimidate and release witnesses. I did see a post on the New York Post, it was page 6, but New York Post page 6, same paper, where they basically had one of the John Does who accused Diddy of SA when he was a teenager. They showed Diddy with the kid, and the face was whited out and everything, so you could tell it was a white boy. Which I am not surprised that Diddy be diddling with white people, well, in business and in pleasure. So. I mean, look at the tea that's been coming out about Justin Bieber. There was a thing that I saw earlier, and I don't want to bring too much into it, so I was like, let me just bring it in passing. There's people that's out here blaming Justin's mother, Patty, who they said was strung out on drugs at the time and allowed Diddy to get his hooks in her son because she didn't know no better. She had a poor judgment of character, and she was hiding Cooter Brown. So that's the alleged story that's coming out now. But I mean, quiet as it's kept, I wouldn't be surprised if Miss Patty was out here doing drugs because, that's how they do. A lot of these predators, they prey on you if you're a single mother or a single parent. or you're going through some things. Because look what happened with Drake Bell. He was, when the guy got his hooks into him, his parents was going through it. They weren't getting along. I don't remember if they were in the midst of a divorce or they were already divorced. So there was already going to be that kind of, push and pull, tug of war type of situation between them. And he took advantage of that. And that's how he got his hooks in him, pulled them away from the father who had the inkling that this man was up to no good. And then, all that stuff. So basically in this story, it said that the lawyer, I don't know why these lawyers are trying. Like, y'all pulling so many, that's why I said Diddy is nothing but a butch queen and the quintessential stunt queen, because his people are really pulling all the stops to try to get around certain situations. They tried to get that man out of jail 3 times. They was like, hell no, you standing there until your trial, which is May of next year. Now they writing letters to a Manhattan federal court judge saying that he needs to know the identities of the alleged victims. But I already heard that the names, they're already privy to the names. So what are you talking about, Willis? So last week, a May 5th trial date was set for Combs, as I pretty much told you that it was, May, but I didn't give you the specific date. So they said a spokesperson for the prosecutors declined comment. Now, Combs, 54, remains incarcerated without bail, blah, blah, blah. You already know the tea. So far, the judges have concluded he is a danger to the community and cannot be freed because they feel like witnessing tampering and all this other stuff. There's going to be bribes and all kinds of stuff to try to buy them off. They don't want him to be able to get anywhere near those witnesses. So they said, the request to identify accusers comes a day after 6 new lawsuits were filed against the diddler anonymously to protect the identities of the alleged victims. 2 of the accusers were identified as Jane Does, while 4 men were listed as John Does. The lawsuit claimed he used his fame and promises to boosting their own prospects in the industry, as in the music industry to be specific, to persuade victims to attend lavish parties or drug-fueled hangouts where he then assaulted them. The plaintiffs in Monday's lawsuits are part of what lawyers say is a group of more than 100 accusers who are in the process of taking legal action against him. So they also said in a letter Tuesday to Judge Arun Subramanian, lawyers for Combs said that the case against their client is unique in part because of the number of accusers. They attributed the quantity to his celebrity status, wealth, and publicity of his previously settled lawsuit. Well, also because when you were having your iconic and legendary freak-offs, of course, it's going to be hundreds of people. Like, this is stuff that's spanning 3 decades since the 90s. So, of course, he's going to leave a bunch of bodies in his wake. So, what are y'all talking about? Like, if the alleged assaults, because everything is alleged until you find the person guilty. So, we're just going to keep it there in the legal term. So, if everything transpired from the 90s up until most recently, I believe, 2023, 2024, whatever. So if it spans 3 decades, of course there's 100 people that's probably going to come forward and say stuff. Now, the job of the attorneys is to interview all these people that's coming out with their accusations, vet them, dot all your I's, cross all your T's. If you feel like that stuff matches and they telling the truth or whatever the case is, and you got them doing, what do you call it? Lie detector tests, whatever whatever the case is. And if you feel like you can move forward with these cases, then you do what you got to do. But then your job as Diddy's lawyers is to try to prove to the people that's going to be in this trial, whatever, the jury and all that other stuff, that your client is innocent. And I feel at this point, I think it's going to be real hard to try to find some people that are not going to not be biased in this whole situation, that can actually judge on this thing and decide whether or not they're going to a guilty, not guilty verdict. Because quiet as it's kept, Diddy, they ain't nothing innocent about you. So, with that being said, there was a story that I saw over at the Neighborhood Talk, and, it leads into this whole thing about the baby oil, which there was always rumors that people said that baby oil had some drugs up in it. That's why people was feeling numb and all this other stuff. So you had people putting the baby oil and stuff on their body because it was drugs in it. Turned out it was GHB, which I believe that some people that was the rumor, but it's actually been confirmed. So It says, neighbors, another day, another Diddy story. According to Radar Online, of course, because everything has been coming, a lot of this Diddy tea has been coming from Radar Online. Months after thousands of bottles of baby oil were allegedly seized from Diddy's LA and Miami homes, court documents have confirmed GHB has been found in the bottles, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce how to even say it. Y'all know GHB is basically a date R-word drug. Like this, I mean, it could be used as that, but also the homosexuals use it in the community as well. You put a little GHB in your drink and like basically water. Like you put GHB in the water and then you drink it. But you don't do too much because you can end up effed up. You seen that episode of Queer? I mean, Queer as Folk is an example of it, and it's a bit of an exaggeration. But then at the same time, you could OD from using that. But he found a way to put the GHB in the oil. Well, you could just pour it in the bottle and just mix it up, and it'd be in there. Because, you know, a lot of times when it comes to drugs, like when it gets in the skin, there's a lot of ways that you could get drugs in you without having to smoke it, put it in your mouth or whatever. There's people that do like full on. Like there was somebody telling me something about like how people are doing meth. Like they're literally putting it in the lube or whatever the case is, or rubbing it on their penis, and then they're putting it raw dog in the guy's butt. Some willing, some unwilling. Like I was hearing stuff about that. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I remember hearing stories about that. That they out here just like full on putting that on. Like, no, what is wrong with y'all people? And they're like out here straight up assaulting people doing that. The gays. When they're in the height of, I was like, I don't want no meth. That's the last thing I would want to be putting my front. Quiet as it's kept. The way y'all doing these drugs these days, I don't put nothing in my body. Y'all putting fentanyl in every damn thing. And I damn sure don't mess with meth. I've been in situations where I've slept with guys who were partying and playing. I was like, oh hell no, never again. I will never put myself in that situation. So if you put me in a situation that's beyond my awareness, there's a problem. Man, I'm beating your behind, and I just lock me up. So I don't think I have. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So I don't think I have anything else to add to this except, like, to me, this is another damn tight ass tactic from Diddy's people that I feel like we've seen so many times from sexual assaulters and abusers who basically want to intimidate witnesses and be like, yeah, release their names. We want to know who they are. Why? So you're the people that still windmill and go hard for Diddy will go out there and start bullying and harassing these people on social media. So why do you need their names released? And then we have the media who will play into that because they need the clicks and the likes and the sensationalism of it all. They don't care. They're not attached to this mess. And so we'll have like Radar Online, the rest of them putting these names out there and exposing these people. No, that's not. They're a John and a Jane damn Doe for a reason. So like I said, it was like, if they feel so confident, you know, these people are liars, clout chasers, whatever, you know, thing that y'all want to put out there, then confidently go into the courtroom the day of the trial in May of 2025 and basically just try to wreck these people, destroy these people on the stand. Like, do what you got to do. Do your job. Like, if he's paying you millions of dollars or however much he's paying you to represent him, then do your job. Stop trying to think that y'all going to get off scot-free or easy. I mean, quiet as it's kept, I don't think Diddy getting out of jail. I think that, look, the last time he was free was the moments before he was arrested by the feds. He ain't getting out. But I heard he got on social media and he was like, he got to, you know, wish his daughter, who I believe is 2 years old, a happy birthday. But good for him. Talking about cooking and all kinds of other stuff. Well, you ain't going to be there to see that. So I say all that to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are y'all surprised by hearing about the whole GHB and the baby oil and, you know, the stuff about the judge releasing the identities and all that good stuff? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now let's move on. Let's talk about Kanye. So we're going to go from the diddler to Kanye, where now they dragging his wife into the situation. So I did mention this in passing yesterday, but now that I have the story from Lauren Prashada, who was the former assistant of Kanye, she's basically coming out with a new accusation and basically saying that Bianca Censori, who is Kanye's wife, I mean, I don't know if they're legitimately married or he just calls her his wife and they just married in mental illness only. But Bianca is being accused of coordinating Kanye's alleged sexual activities, including hosting sex parties. And remember, this was the same one that was looking down on people who like adult entertainment, who had a serious adult entertainment addiction. And they even said at one point that he hired some well-endowed model, male, obviously male model, because unless you got a ginormous clitoris. I was trying to figure out a way not to say that word, but because, algorithms thing, but it is what it is. It's a damn clit. When women have them. I don't know why we got to be all, unless you got a ginormous one, then obviously, when it comes to well-endowed, we talking about a man. So they're saying that basically this is according to Lauren. She said that Kanye hired a dude with a big dingling for his wife's birthday. So when you talk about that she trying to get away from him, she seemed to be enjoying all of this. So it says Radar Online can reveal that Lauren Prashada also alleges in a new lawsuit that West grabbed her throat in front of an unfazed Censori. Well, she always looked high. She always looked like she's disassociated her mind from her body. Like she looks like physically you're present, but mentally you somewhere else. Like she gives me that. Like she's forever in a haze. I don't know if it's drugs or I don't know if she's just a ding-ding, but she gives me airhead tease. Now, they said the former OF model and Instagram star claims that she was mistreated by the rapper while working for him and in the months after, including allegations he R-worded and drugged her at a party hosted by the Diddler. Now, West has previously denied all her claims, labeling the allegations as baseless. Prashada, who was West's chief of staff at his company Yeezy, worked for him from 2021 to 2022, first sued him back in June. But a fresh 86-page filing with an LA court has revealed a raft of new claims, including details about West's alleged sexual desires and Censori's involvement. Now, they said the lawsuit revealed shortly after she stopped working for West in November of 2022, Prashada met the rapper and Censori, who were not married at the time, at a Post Malone concert in California. Shout out to Post Malone. Not for this, though, but shout out to him. They said Prashada claims that in the docs, her boss allegedly grabbed her by the throat and put his tongue into her ear during a brief interaction. The former personal assistant alleged West said, "I always knew what I would do to you if I ever saw you again." Prashada claims Censori watched on unfazed as she stood directly next to the pair. The model alleges that in the lawsuit that Censori was used to how West was acting, claimed the Australian would consensually participate in twisted and bizarre sexual behavior, fantasy, and foreplay that resembled the actions of West on her at the concert. The court filings also allege that West would host a sex party on several occasions where Censori would often attend. Well, didn't he also say he was trying to start a whole adult entertainment company? So what happened to that? Like Vivid Entertainment. So what happened with that? Is this another one of, Kanye allegedly just talking out of his wide behind again? So it also said that another section of the lawsuit alleges how West told Censori he wanted to have sexual relations with her mother, with Censori's mother, Bianca. West allegedly massaged Censori 29, massaged. It took me a second to realize it said messaged. It said West allegedly messaged Censori 29 on September 28, 2022, claiming that he wanted to be intimate with her mother, Alexandra, who was visiting from Australia at the time. Now, Prashada also claimed her boss showed her another message he planned to send to Censori in the same exchange, in which he clarified he wanted his girlfriend to watch him have sex with her mother. Now, they also said that how West had been accused of staging a fake up his wife to create a buzz ahead of his new album release. Wait, so is this the whole thing that was recently where they was talking about that they had split and then he released the record? Because this was another story that just came out a couple of days ago. I'm like, is he coming out with new music or are you talking about prior? Because there was a time months ago where I was reporting, and I think I've done it at least 2 or 3 times, where there was rumors floating around that family had staged an intervention, that Bianca had moved, basically was thinking about leaving Kanye, and then she didn't go nowhere. So it sounds like y'all repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So, but but when it comes to that, unless it's really happening like from the majors or whatever, but then again, I was gonna say I'm not gonna talk about it, but then again, the TMZ and them was reporting it. Come to find out it was a lie. So they also said they hope the split tour will spark headlines as the previous method of publicity. Censori's X-rated outfits have started to wear thin because the general public are no longer shocked by her attire. And I don't even think it's the fact that the public are no longer shocked by her attire. I just don't think the public cares. I just don't think that Bianca is that girl, the girl that Kanye hoped that he was going to mold her into. Like, look at them titties. How you not even 30 and they look like they down to your stomach? I don't know if those are natural or she got implants. But then again, we did hear stories about how Kanye did try to get his ex's implant. He ain't had to worry about Kim. Kim already be paying for her own surgeries. Now, if you're going to sit there and tell me all that on her face and body is natural, then I got a house in Boca Raton I can sell you, and I don't even work in real estate. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me Miss Plastic Fantastic is natural. Just like I'm going to look at Miss Bianca and I'm like, okay, now how you not even 30, but your titties should not be down to your damn knees. You should not have Aretha Franklin breasts and you're not even 30 yet. No shade of Aretha, you know, I don't want to speak ill will of the dead, but Miss Mama's boobs was hanging very low. Didn't your boobs hang low? Remember that song? But anyway, let me just bring it back because, you know, sometimes I go on a tangent. So with Bianca, she is not that girl. Like we look at her, it's like, okay, you're void of a personality, you're dull, you're not interesting. Kanye, we're tired of you and your antics. You're not that interesting anymore. Like there's no lower you could possibly go. I feel like maybe you need to go to the Trump school of trying to go low because there's no bottom when it comes to him. But he always finds a reason to go lower. I mean, a way to go lower than he already does. So maybe Kanye, you need to take a couple of lessons from him because when you be coming out here with your little stunts and shows and all the stuff you be saying, I don't think people care. I also don't think anybody cares about the woman that you supposedly married to. So these little antics and things like, I don't think anybody cares, especially in the mainstream industry. Like when they ran around with that whole, oh yeah, they're getting a divorce and blah, 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 so on and so forth. That story came and went like a fart in the wind. Nobody cared. Just like nobody cares about this whole thing. Now, I think what people do care is what's going to happen regarding this case. And if Lauren has a case with all these accusations that she's coming out with. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now let's move on to some housewives news because there's this whole thing about, I think we talked about it like last week, that Brandi Glanville, apparently she lost both of her lawyers in this whole lawsuit against Andy Cohen. So Andy, you can breathe a sigh of relief because it looks like nothing's touching him. He like Teflon. Nothing touches him. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Leah McSweeney's case, and I don't know what's going on with Caroline Manzo's case. I mean, he still got those. He got a Wonder Woman, you know, with the bracelets and that, but he can still got to do that. You know, I always got to try to find a gay reference to bring when we talk about a homosexual on this show, right? Because Andy Cohen is a homosexual. We're going to be talking about him a bit on the show, too, because when we talk about Cooper Koch and all the other stuff later, there's a lot of Bravo stuff. So Page Six has this team, and they're basically saying that the reason why she lost her lawyers, because they're saying these are sources close to her lawyers, the reason why they dropped the case against Cohen and Bravo is because of the sexual harassment allegations made against her. Remember that she was accused of sexual harassment from one of the butlers that was on Ultimate Girls Trip, and also there was allegations of abuse or, you know, assault from Caroline herself. We still have yet to see that episode or that season of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip with Brandi and all the other women, including Caroline. I don't think we're ever going to see it. I think it's buried because the iron's too hot. And, you know, with all these lawsuits and stuff bubbling, I don't think Bravo wants to risk it. So they're treading right. In my opinion, I feel like they're treading a bit lightly. So they said early last year, high-powered lawyers for former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star sent a letter to Cohen and Bravo telling them to prepare to be served with a suit over a now famous video that Cohen sent to Glanville, joking that he wanted her to watch him have relations with someone else. But sources tell Page Six the relationship between Glanville and the lawyers, Brian Friedman and Mark Garagos, has collapsed, and there are currently no plans to follow through on that letter by filing a suit. Now, sources in Glanville's camp are furious because while Glanville has been running out of money amid her complex rift with Bravo, they say Friedman and Garagos advised her that if she kept her head down, didn't take cash from custom cameo videos, or make media appearances, she had a good chance of winning her suit. Well, then again, why don't you file a suit against your damn lawyers for giving you such horrible advice? Because I'm sitting up here thinking that while my case is ongoing, I'm going to still be out here making my money. I'm a reality star. I don't have anything else going for me. So I will be out here doing my podcast. I will be doing cameos to make my money. I mean, Todrick Hall do cameos, doing the same one and send it to a bunch of people, but nevertheless, he do his cameo. It's funny how somebody always got to get astray when I'm talking about another person. But look, we took my cameos, so I had to bring him in it. But it's like she do her cameos and then make her media appearances. That's money. Why would I leave money on the table while I'm sitting around waiting? You know how long it takes for things to go to trial, and even for a case to even be, from the beginning, middle, and end, and before you even see that money? So why am I going to just sit on my hands and wait for this big overflow coin to come in? Like, that's stupid. But this was the advice she said that they gave her. So they also said that, but then the source said they suddenly appeared to change their minds and tell her she didn't have a case. Well, you couldn't have told her from the beginning. Because I'm like, if I came in there with all this stuff, telling you, if I'm going to file a lawsuit and I sat up in here and told you all this, you couldn't have told me that in like the same day? Instead of stringing me along trying to get my money? I mean, I guess y'all be trying to say these lawyers out here that, they be out here scamming people any damn way. Lawyers are professional liars. So earlier this month, Glanville tweeted, after a year of telling me how rich I was about to be and how strong my case against Bravo is, my lawyers have decided I don't now have a case and cut ties with me. Hashtag paid off maybe? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark. Allegedly. They said she also then deleted the tweet. Here's a sidebar. Why do people still call it a tweet if the channel is X? Is it because we can't come up with something to follow it? First of all, X is stupid, and y'all already know how I feel about that mess over there with that what I call him? Apartheid Clyde. I was gonna say genocide Clyde, but that too. Because he's from South Africa. So I call him Apartheid Clyde. So I'm like, that's why I will always dead name it Twitter. Because there will be a cold day in hell before I call it X. I mean, I just did to make a point. But then we still talk about tweets. But anyway, I digress. So it says, since the Cohen video, Glanville has been accused in 2 lawsuits, both filed by the same lawyer on behalf of different plaintiffs, of harassment. Neither of the lawsuits are against Glanville herself, but instead essentially accuse Bravo and various production companies that work for Bravo for allowing and even encouraging Glanville to sexually harass other cast members. Now, Bravo hasn't yet responded to the suits, and it isn't clear if the production companies have responded. Because it's like, when it came down to it, they're saying that because and the reason why, for those who will probably understand, well, how are they not blaming her, but they're blaming the production? Because they're saying that the production supplies the cast members with alcohol. Even if you have, issues with sobriety, they're putting you in the lion's den where they're trying to encourage you to drink. I don't know if this has happened myself, but as I told y'all before, as somebody who did appear in the episode of The Real Housewives of New York, Sending the Clowns with Tinsley Mortimer, where she was, in the Big Apple Circus, they shot my section. I brought down the drinks, and I knew that if I agreed by production to bring the drinks to the cast, I knew I was on camera. I know how this TV thing works. I've been in a couple of things. So I knew, based off of the situation, I was like, I already know what the tea is. I know the cameras is around. I know they're filming me. The cameras is on me. I got to ignore the camera like I'm a professional actor. I mean, I've acted, like I told y'all before, in things. I've done extra work, all other stuff. So then when I was done, production came on to me. It was like, you were on camera. I had to play dumb like I didn't know that. And then they were like, if you want to sign off on us using the footage, you can sign the paperwork, or if not. And I knew if I didn't sign the paperwork that they were going to use the footage anyway, but probably blur my face out. So I was like, I'm going to sign it. And I was on the show, dialogue and all. talking to Tinsley's mother as I was passing him the drink. So what they're basically saying is that you encourage these, the cast members to drink. And when we all know that when Brandi Glanville, if you watch The Real Housewives and some of the other things she's been on, when she consumes a lot of alcohol, because she weigh like 20 pounds soaking wet with them ginormous implants, she looks like a stick with implants, basically. And it's no shade, but that's just that typical Beverly Hills, Hollywood, LA look that a lot of you women run around with all that damn filler, the hair extensions, the giant boobs, and y'all don't eat. But y'all love a drink. But I'm just like, look, old school, y'all know you gotta put some bread or something in your body so to sop up that liquor. So when everybody knows what she drinks, she's not someone who handles her alcohol well. So she does a lot of inappropriate things. And based on the allegations, she was being a little inappropriate. And we all know that Brandi has done things on camera that has been inappropriate, that have made it past the censors. And, the fans say what they say, and they go on social media and they trash her and all of this, all over the years of what we've seen her doing reality TV. Now, I don't know what happened with this whole thing with Caroline and the butler and all the other stuff, because we didn't see the footage. So we can't judge it. All we can go on is the information that we have here. So I'm going to see if there's any more else that I can add before I wrap this up. So I think I pretty much gave y'all all the information and all this other stuff. So I feel bad for Brandi. It's like, you did all of this and now you can't even get no coin out of it. Sidebar, Andy, are you stress eating? Because I was hearing before that. I mean, this is no shade, because I like a man with a little meat on his bone. But I'm just like, dependent. But I'm like, it's very much giving like Andy's stressed out from all these allegations, so he probably eating his feelings. It's not like he's a porker, but I see man boobs and a little gut there. I don't know how recent that picture is though. So because I don't really watch him, and I can't really tell from him sitting down and watch what happens live if how the body is bodying. But whatever. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Unfortunately, it seems like, she, her lawyers abandoned her. And if she wants to go forward with the case, I mean, she could try it again, but I don't see Brandi doing that, especially because they're saying, like, based off the article, that she's struggling financially. So I don't think she wants to take that risk, because NBC Universal, that's a big conglomerate. And I don't know if she has Brandi is not out here working like Kyle Richards to the point where she has enough money where she can go up against a giant, conglomerate like NBC Universal. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah. We just talked about Liam Payne. I don't know if you just came in, but that was just crazy. Like I said, Brandon reminded me Cheryl has to take him to court to have Bear live with him, so she could do the Girls Aloud reunion. But now Cheryl better hope Girls Aloud will be a permanent reunion instead of just a 20-year reunion. No, I don't want to come off as harsh in my delivery, so forgive me if I do. But now that he's dead, she don't have anything to worry about in regards of, this back and forth bantering, fighting and stuff, because no shade, but it's clear that Cheryl was the bigger star than Liam. I mean, he was in One Direction, but One Direction broke up. They ain't get back together. Niall Horan has a successful career. Harry Styles has a successful career. Zayn is famous in his own right. So, and, then you had Liam. Liam seemed like he was just dealing with a lot. But 31 is so damn young. That boy was going through a lot though. But they said, because I think Sarah will want Girls. I hope Girls Aloud does continue. I think there's room for them to come back. And yes, Sarah Harding's not with us anymore, and it's unfortunate. But why not continue to make music? I don't know, because it seemed like ever since Cheryl had them babies, because I do believe she has more than one child, or does she only have one child? That it seems like her career's taking a back seat. She hasn't been out there performing. This breaks many of Gen Z's hearts who want to see well, we all know that's not happening. But the question remains is that Do y'all think a One Direction reunion would have happened even if Liam was still here? I don't know. Only because I couldn't see Harry Styles doing it. Harry Styles, no shade, is the Justin Timberlake of the group. Not saying he's as a dick like him. Ew. Well, they did say he was on drugs. That, no. They said, oh, wait, you talking about the, wait, hold on, what is this? Girl, why is Azealia Banks talking? I'm sick of that bitch. Look, I already read her down to the floor yesterday. I'm not trying to read her again. Because I guess, it's funny. Felix is talking about, a friend of mine just told me that Liam Payne died. Sir, if you was actually on my damn channel watching this show, I revealed it. Oh, let me not read the viewers and the followers. Some people think that he unalived himself. And I'm reading, but they talking about oh no, this is the pictures? Oh damn, first of all, okay. So I'm not going to show y'all. No, I'm not going to do that because then but I'm going to just describe to y'all. So apparently there's a television, a small little TV in the hotel room that's been smashed. So clearly he was on some stuff. There's also drug paraphernalia on the desk where I can't read what that white bottle is. First of all, that looked like a salt shaker. I'm seeing a lighter. I'm seeing foil, which means that he was smoking something other stronger than weed. So I'm literally looking at the photos as we speak, and I'm pulling it over to he was, and I'm seeing a box of Dove soap, which means I'm guessing they were using that to cut up the drugs or whatever the case was. Like you know how you do the booger sugar? Well, maybe y'all don't know, but I'm oh damn, and then they showing the hotel, the ambulances outside. Well, I'm glad they ain't showing the body, because I'm like, girl, it's so confusing sometimes to be your girl. Who took them damn pictures? Damn, they already did the article, about Liam Payne, but we don't need to go more into that. But they said he was acting erratic. I was like, yeah, because he was higher than Cooter Brown. So, it's sad though. It's just sad and unfortunate. I just looked at those pictures, so I was like, yeah, them drugs. Oh, really? There's a lot of people think seeing his brothers be as successful more than him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, when you look at Liam Payne seemed like he was mentally struggling. That a lot of the other a lot of the stars from that band were more famous, were more successful, and he struggled. Am I bugging? Didn't he do like one of those singing competition shows, or was that Nile that I'm thinking about? You say he did relapse, because I was reading it when they said he was acting erratic. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, if you're acting erratic, clearly you're high on something. So he probably bought his drugs from somebody that where he was at out there in another country. And this is why they always say, if you're going to be anywhere, stop buying drugs from total strangers, because you never know what they put in stuff. They don't really have not saying that the poor choice of words would be, oh, they don't have your best interest at heart. But the thing is, when you're going to buy drugs from a dealer that you're aware of, they want you to keep coming back for their product. So they're not going to put you in a situation where they're going to give you whatever, laced with whatever. They know their client. They're going to do it. This is how business is, unless you're one of those that just don't care and are willing to screw up your situation. But for the most part, it's just like, this is sad. But it would have been nice to see them all together. Maybe, you saying that, well, it would have been the 15th anniversary. So who knows? It was a lot that was going on. Plus, this recent lawsuit that came out, that probably is what caused it to relapse, because the ex-girlfriend and all that story that just came out yesterday regarding the ex-girlfriend filing the cease and desist, because he's been, according to her, she's been stalking him. Well, he's been stalking her. What am I talking about? She's been he's been stalking her. She says that he calls her from different numbers. She never knows, when to call. But first of all, with me, if I don't recognize the number, I ain't picking it up. You have to leave a message. You got to do something. I don't just pick up random phone calls. If I don't know who it is, and I'm very selective with who I speak with on the phone. Most of the time, I prefer texting, but that's just me. But if I'm real cool with somebody, like if it's any one of my real close friends, and it's like, yeah, we can get on the phone and kiki. But for the most part, text me. He said Liam allegedly was posted on Snapchat. That is so crazy. He said, if we're being honest, Liam had the fourth most successful than all of them. Louis doesn't even have it. Well, yeah. So, well, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Louis Tomlinson. Yeah, nobody's really thinking about it. No shade. I mean, I didn't either. I almost forgot he was a part of the group when I was just talking about them. Hey, thank you, because I knew it was one of them. And you said, now did The Voice USA. Looks like Liam was doing either. He probably was doing heroin, but because I noticed by the foil and other stuff, and I'm like, I didn't want to say that, but it was like, yeah, there's some heroin up there. But it looked like it was some other stuff that was up on that table either. But the shade is, who was the one that took that picture and leaked it online? Like, that's shady. But yeah, but if you're saying or fentanyl, I would not be surprised if fentanyl was in it, because that's what they put in everything now. Here, so Snapchat and all other stuff. Shout out to him. May he rest in peace. But I'm sure, like I said, throughout the show, a lot of stuff is going to come out in regards to this story. But I'm glad. But I won't say I'm just realizing I'm starting to sound a little insensitive and because I'm like, I'm glad I was the first to break it because it's live. But I'm not glad I'm the first to break it. I just broke the news, so now it's all happening in real time. So I'm sure, like, whoever the next people that have shows coming on later on tonight, I'm sure a lot of them will be breaking the stories too. Other people with YouTube channels. Like, I don't want to talk about the competition. And you say he wasn't alone. Of course he wasn't. See, and that was probably the girlfriend. Because we was reading the article that I came across when I Googled schmooled real quick, that he was probably, the girlfriend was there with him, his current girlfriend. But meanwhile, you're out here hitting up your ex, stalking your ex, but you got a whole girl. So she must be a drug addict too, because I'd be damned if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we supposed to be together, but you out here still trying to hit up your ex. Fiance, actually. Okay, so let's go move on from one Real Housewife to another, and let's talk about Dina Manzo, who we finally have end to this situation that happened with her ex-husband, who was sentenced to 7 years in prison for her ex-husband hiring a mobster to assault her current husband. This was like when they said that there was a robbery that happened. Somebody broke in the house. They both were tied up. The boyfriend was beat up, whatever the case was. Come to find out, it was Dina Manzo's ex, who actually, her sister, and this is where I feel like this is where Dina and Caroline, speaking of which, because we talked about Caroline prior, if I'm not mistaken, the reason why Dina and Caroline no longer speak is because Caroline fixed herself to go and sign a letter along with, other members of the family, basically on Dina's ex-husband's behalf. So it's like, you supposed to be my sister. We supposed to be ride or dies, but you gonna ride for your husband, but not ride for your blood? So I could definitely see why she feels the way she feels and no longer speaks to her sister. So it also said that Thomas Manzo, that's his name, was convicted on one count of committing a violent crime in aid of racketeering, one count of conspiracy to commit a violent crime in aid of racketeering, and one count of falsifying and concealing documents related to a federal investigation. Now, according to the press release from Jersey U.S. Attorney's Office, Manzo hired John Perna, a soldier in the Lucchese. Is it Lucchese or Lucchese? Because, with the Italian crime family, to assault Dina's boyfriend in the spring of 2015. Now, Manzo, a co-owner of the Brownstone, is a catering hall in Paterson, New Jersey, was because he co-owns it with his brother, paid for the assault with a free wedding reception. Now, this is how they got you? Because you had the people, you promised them a free wedding reception on your behalf. You paid for everything. So they can go over there and beat the current husband of your ex. So this is why we up in here talking about crazy exes. Now, Perna completed his end of the bargain in July 18, 2015, and joyfully tied the knot in August 2015 at the Brownstone, attended by some 330 people, many of whom belong to the Lucchese crime family. Now, 4 years later, in response to the grand jury subpoena, Manzo concealed and falsified documents relating to the wedding. Now, Perna, it says the assailant, pleaded guilty in December of 2020 to committing a violent crime in aid of racketeering activity and received a 2.5-year sentence. He was free in August of 2023. Manzo, however, will have to serve 3 years of supervised release in addition to his 84 months in prison. So he's going to go and spend 84 months in prison. I'm like, oh wait, I was going to say, how much is that? 7 years? I'm sitting there literally counting it. That is crazy. But then he's got to do 3 years on top of that. That's crazy. So it said lawyers of Thomas Manzo did not immediately respond to Entertainment Weekly's request for comment. So yeah, this is, and I want to show y'all because y'all have no idea who, this is the ex-husband. That's Thomas Manzo, Caroline's brother-in-law. I was trying to remember what is the Caroline's husband. Is his name Albert? Albie? Well, Albie's the son. I know he's a junior. So it's Albert. And that's the ex-husband. And then here is the current husband. First of all, okay, Dina, her new husband he's a cutie. It's okay. But anyway, so they said whether you're actually in the mafia or not, hiring the mob to assist someone because of your marital problems is abhorrent. This is what U.S. Attorney Philip R. Sellinger said in a statement. Covering up the role you played only makes it worse. Because ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. They're gonna find you. That's what they said in Lauryn Hill and them. So you gonna run out here and try to think that you can cover things up and that the FBI and all these attorney people are not gonna dot their I's across their T's or whatever the case is, and they're not gonna find out the dirt that you was doing. You ain't do that good of a job. So they said the jury's verdict and today's sentence makes clear that this office will spare no resource to hold accountable anyone who commits such crimes. Now, Dina Manzo, now Dina Canton, was, as you know, a cast member on Real Housewives of New Jersey for the first 2 seasons, returning as a guest in season 4 and a full-fledged housewife in season 6. She separated from Thomas in 2012 and their divorce was finalized in 2016. The following year, she married entrepreneur and philanthropist David Canton, despite interference from the Lucchese crime family. Well, he definitely loves her. And that's how you need to hold on to that man. Because I'm sitting there like, if he stood by you after all of this stuff, with the intimidation and all and all of that, then he truly loves her. And you know what? This goes to show, like, if the family is going to be willing to go to so many lengths to do something like this, and then your sister participated in trying to write a letter on his behalf, like, to me, that's just demonic. That's just horrible. And I disown her too. This is why I always say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And we're going to get into that conversation. We talk about T and Tamara later on in the show. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? I'm definitely Team Dina on this. And this is a mess. Like, damn, this is why sometimes I be fearing getting in relationships with people, because a lot of y'all be acting like y'all get in relationships and you own the people you're in relationships with. You don't own these people. You don't own me. That's like, I'm not your property. I'm not your toy. I'm not something that you could just own. It's like, when we in a relationship, we're in a relationship. If we happen to part ways and break up, y'all need to let people go amicably instead of getting your feelings and having your rage and all that other craziness that comes along with it. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. He said, did you ever watch that show, My Crazy Ex? No, I didn't. There was a show that I know what I was watching. I was watching Masculine Jason with one of his videos, and then Caesar XS was asking, he was talking about one of those type of shows, and then Masculine Jason ain't know nothing about it because like he's so not into pop culture stuff. So he's like trying to explain it. It was similar to something like this, but it was like not My Crazy Ex. He was talking about Bridezilla. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. It's like, no, I don't really watch shows like that. I think that's the connection I was trying to make. But anyway. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about Nigel Lythgoe, who's speaking out against this whole allegations made by Paula Abdul. So Paula Abdul's accuser, Nigel Lythgoe, she accused him of SAing her during one of the initial seasons of American Idol. So, since the allegations and stuff came out, this was at the height of, I think So You Think You Could Dance was actually starting its promo for this past season. And when all this came out, what happened was they, I don't remember the timeline, but I do remember they fired him from the show, even though he's an executive producer. And there were episodes I believe he was in. I didn't watch the season, so I don't know if they edited around him, if they had to just show the episodes of, the finished episodes with him in it. But then they brought in JoJo Siwa as a replacement for him. And I don't know how the show was because it's been a while. I used to like So You Think You Could Dance, but then so many stuff was happening with the show, the pandemic, a bunch of other things, and I just stopped watching it. But I was a fan of the show. It was definitely I love that. I like that show more than American Idol. But like I told y'all before, with American Idol, I stopped watching after David Archuleta lost. So I was pretty much done with that. But anyway, so it says the 75 UK native filed court docs in the case on Tuesday that were reviewed by TMZ, claiming that the singer and personality, who's 62, has made shifting allegations against him in the SA lawsuit she filed against him late last year. The American Idol producer said in legal documents that Abdul has changed her story in regards of allegations she's made against him, focused on a 2015 incident in Las Vegas, the outlet reported, citing court docs. Now, Abdul said that the incident occurred during a taping of the series So You Think You Can Dance, which she was a judge on, and he was a co-creator of, saying she witnessed Lythgoe groping her assistant. He denies the allegations. Lythgoe says that in an amended lawsuit Abdul filed, she said that he had SA'd her during the same time frame in Las Vegas, changing her story with a crucial detail, saying it stretches credulity, I think that's how you say it, that, or you could have just said credibility. But anyway, let me just not harbor too much on that word. So it says that Abdul would supposedly remember witnessing her sister allegedly being assaulted, and yet apparently forget until the filing of the amended complaint that she also allegedly was assaulted at the same time. And I was about to say, as I was reading this, wait a minute, when did the assistant get put in this conversation? Because I do remember when I first talked about this, there was no mention of an assistant. What was mentioned was Paula said she was assaulted, not the assistant. This is the first time I'm hearing about the assistant news, as far back as I can remember. So now she's adding to the lawsuit. Not saying that she ain't a liar, but here's the thing. I know memories could be muddled or whatever the case is. We're supposed to believe victims. But if he's able to prove, okay, now she done changed her damn story. This is not what was said in the first lawsuit filing. Now she added stuff to the situation. Then prove that in court. But they always say it's hard to prove assault in court. So I don't know how this is all going to turn out. So also said, Abdul said in her amended lawsuit that Lythgoe put his hands on her butt, hips, waist, and her breast and intended to kiss her on the neck. And this is basically what the outlet is reporting. Lythgoe said in legal docs that he didn't do any of what she's accusing him of, adding that the claims against him were false and deeply offensive. The latest development in the case comes more than 7 months after Abdul said that she can produce text messages and illustrate the unwanted sexual advances Lythgoe made toward her during a time she was working on shows he produced. Now, Abdul's lawyer, Melissa Eubanks, told TMZ on March 6th that Lythgoe had been victim shaming the Grammy-winning singer in an effort to denigrate an the SA lawsuit she filed against him late last year. The statement from Abdul's camp came after reports Lythgoe was sued by a separate woman who accuses Lythgoe of SAing her at his home in 2018. So this is Paula's not the only one, so he got to fight off a multitude of suits. Abdul's team said that they have text messages from Lythgoe dated March 8th of 2014, which read, "When you get back to LA, will you please make love to me slowly and lovingly?" Isn't he married? But I guess in Hollywood, that don't mean nothing. Abdul did not respond to the message, according to Eubanks, and Lythgoe then said to her, "I'll take that as a yes then." And yes is in caps. So Abdul's legal team said on April 10th of 2014, in the text message, Lythgoe sent a message to Abdul about ongoing auditions in Las Vegas for So You Think You Can Dance. They said he wrote to her, I'll come if you promise a big wet kiss. With tongues is a small grope of the ass asking too much. Now, in July of 2014 text for Lythgoe, Abdul's legal team said that he acknowledged his conduct was inappropriate. He allegedly wrote to her, you love me like a relation. I love you like a girlfriend. I could easily be your effing cousin. Ha ha. Lythgoe, in response to the suit, submitted into the court email communications with Abdul depicting a friendly and loving vibe in the time frame after the alleged assault occurred. Eubanks said that the legal response of Lythgoe and his team didn't acknowledge the power dynamic of their relationship, as Lythgoe was essentially her boss. Well, I think you should have understood the power dynamic because, yeah, if he's the boss, this is why I always feel away when you have people who executive produce and create shows, but also are judges, hosts, whatever that case is. There is a power dynamic there where it's just like, oh, I can't. This is the same thing I said about Andy Cohen when he be mingling with them women over there at the Housewives and all them other shows. And then it's the same thing I say about Shawnee O'Neal and that forehead. How her being an EP and on basketball, I don't know if she's still on Basketball Wives. I didn't watch that show in the month of Sundays, but even when she was on the show, so let's entertain that part. When she was on there, she's supposed to be the EP. You know, I heard her role was, it was in name only. But then you run around like you got all this power with casting and who you can hire and fire, like she tried to do with Brandi. There's a situation that I don't like that whole power dynamic. So obviously it's like, yeah, Nigel is someone who was the boss of not only So You Think You Can Dance, but also American Idol. So yeah, there is a power dynamic. I'm not hunching the boss. It's not a good look. I mean, don't they make y'all take sexual harassment training and stuff in Hollywood? Is that only to, us regular people that work regular jobs? Just a thought and a question. They said that he held the cards to her career in his hand and he knew it. Eubanks said that Abdul appeared on American Idol from 2002 to 2009, employed defenses that many women like Miss Abdul had to adopt to deal with men who abused their power in providing Lythgoe with positive messages and seeming adoration. Abdul filed a lawsuit in LA on December 29th, accusing Lythgoe of SAing her during her time working on two shows he produced, American Idol and So You Think You Can Dance. The Associated Press generally does not identify alleged victims of SA unless they come forward publicly, as Abdul has done. And I'm sitting there wondering, like, would she want to put her career and her reputation on the line just to make up a lie and try to get a payday out of Nigel? Nigel always kind of gave me creepy vibes. There was always something about him that just rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't know if this story is true. We're supposed to believe victims. I'm going to go along with it. But I've always felt like he was a little skeevish to me. But, he even threw this out here. He said he was shocked and saddened to hear about the allegations. And he considered her a dear and an entirely platonic friend. And said, and had the nerve to bring up her behavior. While Paula's history of erratic behavior is well known, I can't pretend to understand why she would file a lawsuit that she must know is untrue. But I can promise that I will fight this appalling smear with everything I have. Well, guess what? You go ahead and do that, sir. You get up in there in that courtroom, you fight this with every fiber of your being, courtesy of your lawyers. But the thing is, you have the absolute nerve to just try to, oh, well, we know she has a history of erratic behavior. Oh, you trying to read me in regards to trying to defend yourself? But then they also said that they said the lawsuit also accuses Lythgoe of taunting Abdul about the alleged assault, saying to her years later that they should celebrate because the statute of limitations had run. Well, if y'all have all this information, y'all have all this stuff that y'all saying that this is what's in the lawsuit, and y'all have text messages and all stuff, then when y'all go to court, just name it. But I feel like Lythgoe's, Nigel's day in the sun as being in the entertainment industry is pretty much tainted at this point. And I don't know. I was reading a little something else, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this story? Do you believe Paula? Do you not believe Paula? Do you believe Nigel? Do you think Nigel's a POS? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, you said, I remember when LaGanja is strong. Oh, was she? I was just, funny enough, I was just talking about LaGanja yesterday on the show. We were talking about Shangela, because that video that I did yesterday about Bob and Monet giving their thoughts on the whole Shangela assault allegations that was coming out. And shout out to the Boulay brothers who actually liked my video. I was like, I get it. I had to screenshot that and show everybody. I was like, look, like my video. I was like, oh, I know the people out there is watching. But yeah. So shout out to the Boulays. I do love y'all show. But yeah, I was talking about LaGanja yesterday because I know she had like a coming out party over the weekend that a friend of mine was invited to, where she's coming out fully as trans. I think she's doing a documentary on it, so y'all probably will be able to see all of this other stuff unfold. It's probably gonna be on her YouTube channel. But anyway, she's got full on zhuzhed out body, snatched for the gods, all this other stuff, because she's now a full-fledged trans woman. The body in which she feels comfortable enough to live in. And so I was thinking about that because I was like, with all this stuff with Shangela and Shangela being a part of the House of Edwards, how are those members over there, Gia, LaGanja, Alyssa, all of them, how are they faring with these allegations that are coming out? Because we haven't heard from them, but it was a good thing that Bob, who has I won't say a deeper connection because they work together on We're Here and their whole situation. And Monet, being an alum of Drag Race, their overall thoughts on that. And I love the fact that they were like, you know what, I stand with the victims. So feel how you feel, sis. But I will always, what they're saying is like, I stand with the victims. But I did see that they clipped it on their page because they knew this was going to be like a big thing. So I do like the idea that they clipped that segment. It's like 6 minutes. I played majority of the segment for y'all yesterday. And that clip is up on YouTube if y'all want to watch it. But definitely give their show a gander as well. It's an off topic. What did you think of the Victoria's Secret fashion show? Not Tyra was stank walking. I did not watch. Robert, you better put down what you put in the group chat in regards to the whole Victoria's Secret thing. But I was reading, first of all, Radar Online, y'all could sit and spin on these fingers for what y'all was up in there saying. They're talking about wokety woke or whatever, because they had trans women walking in the thing. And y'all get on my damn nerves with the lazy reading in regards of calling things that are different woke. Now, if y'all want to discuss the fact that the industry is trying to play this whole, let's check every box and we're pandering situation that it doesn't come across as authentic, then we can get into that conversation. But what's wrong with diversity on camera? Like, what's wrong with seeing somebody who's Black or of many different races or sexual orientations or genders walking the runway? I mean, we've always had Black women walking the Victoria's Secret fashion show, but I did see that people were having an issue with that, but inviting trans women to walk in. I mean, there's been trans models for a while. I mean, sporadically throughout the fashion world, but for the most part, they're part of the community. So go sit somewhere. But I didn't watch. I did have it on the thing because I know it was on YouTube, so I was gonna watch it, but no shit, I just didn't care. But I did see all the conversations and stuff happen about Tyra, and I also saw that people were getting all bent out of shape because Heidi Klum and her daughter Lenny are doing they did a lingerie campaign or whatever, and they were like, oh, this is sexual. I was like, first of all, Heidi Klum is a grown woman. Her daughter Lenny is of age. It's not like she was eating her daughter's box in a damn video. Like, and why do we as Americans, why do we make everything so sexual? First of all, Heidi Klum is not even American. She's European. European people are very open with their sexuality and just exuding sex and confidence and things. And I don't think the thing was sexual. It's just women are very, they're very much tuned into their bodies. In America, we love our guns and violence and all that other stuff. But when it comes to sex, it's like, oh my God, blasphemous. By the power of Christ compel you and all that mess. It's like, relax. But yeah, to answer your question, I didn't see it. Okay, now, chill, let's get into this foolishness. Let's talk about Chris Brown, because, and I had to put this together quickly before the show, because I had totally forgot that this, had went down. So Chris Brown is facing backlash as he prepares for 2 concerts in South Africa this December. Now, it says a women's rights advocacy group, we talked about them yesterday, I think, on the show, Women for Change, initiated a petition to prevent the pop star from performing due to his past allegations of abuse and violence. The petition, which was launched on October 2nd on change.org, has already garnered over 37,000 signatures at the time of this report. Now, shout out to the U.S. Mirror, because they're the ones that put this story together. They said the aim of the petition is to stop Chris Brown, who pleaded guilty to assaulting ex-girlfriend Rihanna in 2009 and was sentenced to probation and community service, from performing in South Africa. According to the BBC, South Africa has one of the highest rates of femicide and gender-based violence globally. And they said Chris Brown left dangling like an angry fairy after stage stunt goes. Oh, I'm reading something else. I was like, what the hell? Oh, they said Chris Brown, what is it? So that says the group is urging promoters, the South African government, and event organizers to reconsider allowing the singer to perform at Johannesburg's FNB Stadium in mid-December. Now, despite the controversy, the loyal singer managed to sell out the 94,000 person capacity stadium in less than 2 hours. And what's even worse, depending on who you ask, they added a second show because it was popular. They were not expecting all that to happen. But then let's take a gander over to the neighborhood talk. But they had this thing where basically Chris Brown jumped on the line and started to troll in the comments, which I'm like, sir, see, this is why people have an issue with your behind, because you just be trash sometimes. So they also said that Women for Change also posted the petition on their Instagram page, prompting a response from Chris, and responded with the following. He said, "Can't wait to come," followed by a red heart emoji. So you did not have to go up in there and troll. But of course, they said, well, one sharing a screenshot of it on a popular entertainment thread on Reddit. But I went over to the neighborhood talk, because they put every damn thing up on their page. So I said, let's show it. So now, in a conversation about a man's troubling behavior, user at Chris_JBB posed the question, can someone explain how this man I think you meant abuse, that many women, show no remorse, or abuses, act smug about it, and still have a career? This sparked a flurry of responses on an Instagram post shared by Women for Change. Another user replied with a theory suggesting patriarchy, misogyny, and wealth, and also light-skin privilege. Let's be clear with that, because I guarantee you, if Chris Brown was of a darker hue, he would have been canceled a long time ago. So we're going to pull that up in there. There's pretty privilege and there's light-skin privilege. And as somebody who's light-skinned, I can say that. So light-skinned people will definitely get away with way more than someone who's of a darker hue. So I do feel like that plays into it as well. It's perfectly fine if y'all want to disagree. But here's the thing. I like that the person that put it in the comments said has a history of, abusing multiple people, shows no remorse, acts smug about it. Because what irritated me about Women for Change, it seemed like y'all only wanted to focus on Rihanna. The Rihanna thing has been put to bed. And I think that, to me, was lazy, because that's the lazy argument a lot of the Chris Brown supporters like to use, disregarding Karuchi and all the other ones. Even the recent situation that happened where it was 4 men who were accusing Chris Brown of assault backstage at one of his recent shows, his arena show. So I do wonder that, yes, why is it that this guy has done so much? I could understand if you did the crime, you paid your penance, you learned your lesson, and you move on. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And I'm gonna steal something that I saw earlier. Now, they say it's nice that a lot of y'all just learned a new word called demure. I'm glad y'all finally found out a new damn word, because apparently, people saying that word, they think like they just discovered gold. I'm like, demure, that word's been around since before speech replaced sign language. So y'all need to open up a thesaurus, quiet as it's kept. So they said, it's nice that y'all discovered the word demure. Now, maybe another word y'all need to discover is accountability. And to me, it feels like we're in a time where people just don't want to take accountability for the things that they do. And if Chris Brown actually paid his penance and took accountability and learned to not do it ever again, I think people wouldn't be so hard on him now. The problem is, it just seems like y'all feed this beast with the encouragement and all this other stuff, because people's in the comments over the neighborhood talk. What was one said? Talking about they full of itch. His tickets sold out. Well, who cares about how many his tickets? I mean, the tickets or whatever was doing well. Somebody put leave Chris Brown alone button. Of course, it's a chick that put that together. Child, now this is a cackle. Somebody says South Africans fighting everyone but their oppressors. Okay, that is kind of funny. Oh, this is disgusting. Hold on. But we'll get into the Liam Payne thing, because TMZ, y'all need to be sued. But we're not gonna get into that. I'm gonna tell y'all what these idiots did after we're done with this idiot that we're talking about now. Because you're disgusting. But anyway, I wanted to read, let's read some of the comments over there with oh my god, where is it? Okay, so yeah, some of the people was like, they said, I never understood this cause them wait, I'll never understand this because them African men got Chris Brown beat for sure. Wait, what y'all talking about? Penis? They said 30,000 signatures, yet over 90,000 people already bought tickets. They're not canceling the show, LOL. That's too much money to lose out on. And you know what? It could be a lot. It could be a lot of that. It could be also that, you know what, at the end of the day, we're a capitalistic society. I'm talking about in general. I'm not just talking about, in other places. I'm talking about just generally speaking. And I feel like, we are a capitalistic society, and as long as they make money, fuck your feelings. That's the way they feel about it. As graphic as I hate having to be. But it's about everybody wants grace until it's time to give it to someone else. And that is the absolute truth. So, Chris Brown, there was no point of you actually getting up in there and trolling. There was no reason why you had to get up in there and start trolling them people. Just keep your head down, go about your business, do your shows, and keep it moving. Don't let these people get to you. And this is not me encouraging the situation, but you throwing more gasoline on the flame doesn't help the situation. So, but what do we expect from someone who gets encouraged so much from so many of his people to continue to do the things he does? That's why he does it, because he knows he can get away with it. There's no accountability. He can do whatever he wants. But until y'all file these lawsuits, which the people already have a lawsuit coming out towards him and all other stuff, then I feel like that's the only thing that's going to happen. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Some people also said, I would risk my stable career to knock this man down a peg. Well, I wouldn't go that far, niece, but go ahead. If you want to do it, go off. Another person said, expressing frustration that this is such a smug taunt is so beyond infuriating. He has no shame. I'm convinced he has no ability to feel remorse. Do you think he's also a sociopath? There could be a little bit of that. They also said that audacity. He is genuinely such a sick individual. Another person said that 3,231 people agree with him, which is just sad AF. Because it was like when he posted the comment, people liked it. It's like, you know what, but misery loves company. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? I definitely want to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments down below. Now, let me lighten the TMZ ass, because y'all are fucking disgusting. How dare you post photos of Liam's dead body, on your page? What is wrong with y'all? You're disgusting. Harvey, I hope they sue the pants off your ass. I can't stand him. Because why would you sit and do something that disgusting? Because y'all are so desperate for people to run over there and look at your tired ass website. I didn't go over there and look at it. How I found out is because when I was looking for the Chris Brown thing over on the Neighborhood Talk, they posted the thing about apparently TMZ. Oh, wait, was it them? No, it wasn't them. I think it was, hold on, because I'm going to look for it. It was Kevin Ortega Rojas, that's who actually posted it. No, here's why. The show that, I mean, the channel that he has. Oh, wait, no, that's his regular page. Because I was like, let me pull that up. Here's why with Kevin. Because I was like, I know, I just seen that. Yep. And here it is. Because I'm going to just show y'all, not the body or whatever. I'm going to just show y'all the actual thing of what he said. Like, I'm not sadistic in that way. I actually got respect for people. So basically, they said within minutes of news breaking online that Liam Payne has died in Argentina, don't cry for him, TMZ posts photos of his body laying lifeless in the courtyard of the hotel where he was pronounced dead. Photos also leaked online from within his hotel. Well, I already saw those pictures. Where they said there was drug paraphernalia, empty bottles of champagne, and a smashed TV screen, which is basically what was stated. Now, I did see in the comments that somebody did post something where they said that there was no body that was posted on TMZ. But I'm not looking, wait, hold on. Because I was like, let me try to pull, because the one thing I hate about when I'm on a computer doing it versus when I'm on my own phone is that when you can't scroll up and down and read the comments and stuff, so it makes it harder to read stuff in real time. What the hell? I'm hitting everything but what I'm supposed to hit. Oh, somebody said there have been a lot of video essays about his problematic behavior popping up on YouTube recently, but I was not expecting. Oh, yeah, because Kayla says probably going to have to pull down her video. Or maybe, girl, just leave it up. You ain't know the stuff that was going on because she just did a video about Liam Payne that I saw. But she may have to do a follow-up just to, cover your situation. Because I hope people don't go up and how sadistic and crazy are you? I was like, look, she did this before she even knew what was going on. So let's not blame us content, the content creators, unless you're being vile and disgusting, according to the from TMZ. And you said that let the man rest. Damn, hasn't even been 24 hours. Oh, somebody put the Miss Maya. There's no picture of his body on TMZ. Their picture of tent where his body is inside of a kit. Well, that's not the point. The point is, it's not the body, it's the tent that his body is, the body happens to be in the tent. Really, bitch? And then somebody had to put in the comments, they have zoomed in pictures. But it doesn't matter. And did this have to have the nerve? They said, where? Send link because I'm on TMZ. Now, okay. So then this is where I have to windmill this hoe. Because now it's like, okay, so now you want somebody to send you photos. Bitch, look it up. How about that? It's Google's your friend. You want to sit up here and talk about send me pictures. How about you jump off a damn cliff? But anyway, let me bring it back. But yeah, this is absolutely disgusting that I'm seeing this, that TMZ, there's a special place in hell for Harvey and all of y'all that work over there, and this is what y'all doing because y'all want the clicks and the likes. And I would never want to even see stuff like that. Bad enough, and this is for me having it just so that way I know how real the stuff is that I've witnessed on Instagram and so many other places, seeing so many dead children from what Israel has done with the bombs over there with the Palestinians. I can understand it just so I'm aware of what's going on in the world, but I don't want to sit up in here and see stuff like this. But this is absolutely disgusting if this is true, what TMZ is doing. Like, what are y'all doing? But this ain't the first time they've done stuff like this. Remember what happened with Kobe Bryant and Gianna, I think was her name, when they passed away in the plane crash, how they rushed to get those photos. Like, y'all have no sense of humanity. But anyway, let me get off of here with this whole situation. But yeah, I just had to show y'all that so y'all could share this outrage with me. That's not me laughing for laugh's sake. It's just laughing for so I can stop being so like ready to cuss people out, and then I really get demonetized on this episode. Oh yeah, you asked me that, right? You say he doesn't understand that most people don't bring up the Rihanna situation anymore. No, the only people that bring, it's only certain few that bring it up, or the people that try to defend his situation, they bring up the Rihanna thing. But it's like, he's done more since then. We're not even talking about Rihanna. We know the story regarding the whole Rihanna situation. So we move beyond that. So I really wish people stop bringing up Rihanna. Rihanna's moved on. She got her 2 kids. She's with RZA. Well, no, RZA's the son. Sorry. She's with A$AP Rocky. Her son's name is RZA. So if they all doing their own, she's living her best life while he out here, Chris Brown out here being a hot, cracked out mess, allegedly. Nestle Crunchy said, I feel like Rethink is enough, but there is so much more. Karuchi, Frank, exactly. Onyx says, I have a good friend that's a big fan of him, and Chris definitely promotes toxic behavior in relationships. Absolutely. And it's like, it gives people the reason to be toxic, and people live for that. On top of unfavorable character traits outside of physical violence. Absolutely. Even Perez Hilton would not. Exactly. Well, because he probably gets sued. He's been there with that situation before. He talks about it, how, there's been situations where he would post certain things, and because it's not his property, he would get sued. Because, a lot of these paparazzi people, this is big money for them. Unfortunately, some people got to eat. And it's a dog-eat-dog world. Like, this is really a dark, not always, but for the most part, this industry is dark. Take no prisoners. Like, you really have to have a thick skin if you want to survive it. But you said, but his post said TMZ posted it. That's what I said. It's like, if he's putting it out there, first of all, I already know Kevin is not going to run up out here with no narrative that's not true. Like, he's going to make sure that stuff is what it is before he posts it on his page. And if people are in the comments saying, yes, they posted it. Like, and even if you can't, it's not necessarily him posed up with his eyes open and in blood. And like, if we're not saying it needs to be that, like, Terrifier 3 graphic, but if there's actual pictures being posted on their website and you see stuff like this, I don't think that it needs to be. And that's what irritates me about people. Some people, like, it has to be literal in certain things for it to be valid. Oh, well, it's not. They don't really have. They didn't show the body. But if you could see something if you could see a leg or something, that's a body. What are you talking about? Nobody said it got to be a exact interpretation. That's what irritates me about some people. They said Honest just makes a video about him too, but I did. Oh yeah, that was the same thing. Kayla Says did a video. I was gonna watch it, but I got sidetracked. It was so much stuff that was catching my attention. I was like, oh, I'll get to his video later because I wanted to watch the video, what she had to say on him. I like a lot of her content, so I was gonna check it out. And then Honest, there's a couple of other ones that be making videos. A lot of them I can't really watch because I'm like, first of all, you sound like AI. It don't sound like it's a real human that's saying this stuff. And if you sound like that, it's going to take me out of the situation. I cannot watch videos with people's voices being too robotic. If you start to sound like something that Elon Musk created in a lab or colonized, I am not watching your show. Let me being dramatic, right? But anyway, I think I'm pretty much done with cussing out TMZ for now. Okay, so now, let's move into this mess. Let's talk about Safaree, who, oh wait, did I pull that open? I was like, wait a minute. Oh my God, I'm missing a topic. Wait, hold on, let me take that out. Because the one I actually have was the Wicked one, and I think I forgot to add that as an article. So since the Wicked, okay, so let's do the Wicked one because that's the one I actually have open. And then we get to the Safaree. I just forgot to make the banner. But good thing I know how to copy and paste real quick. So it says, Cynthia Erivo is defying gravity with fan-made Wicked movie imagery. So she's apparently upset because the fans actually took to social media and decided to create a fan-made piece of art off of the art, which it was inspired by the original artwork from the Broadway musical. So I want to show y'all the contrast of both. So the one on the left is the one that I believe they did for the movie. The one on the right is the original artwork. So they said the 37-year Cynthia Erivo's 37. Why she look older than that? And there's no shade. We know black don't crack, but sis, you look older than damn 37. Maybe it's the way she carries herself. But they said the 37-year-old Oscar-nominated actress took to her Instagram story on Wednesday to repost an edited version of the recently unveiled poster for her new film, which is a remake of the stage version. She wrote, "This is the wildest, most offensive thing I've ever seen." Really, girl? This is the most wild, offensive thing you've ever seen? Well, maybe you need to blame the marketing department, whoever made the artwork. Like, how you getting mad and talk about this is Anyway, let me just hold my tongue so I can get through the story. So Cynthia went on to compare it to the questions that have been sent her way regarding her green skin in the film, saying, "None of this is funny. None of this is cute. It degrades me. It degrades us." Who's us? Well, hold on, because let me show y'all the actual picture of her post. This is what she said. So basically, they shaded out the eyes. That's the actual one that the person who photoshopped it did. Now, the Photoshop job on here, I've seen better. But she's apparently mad about it. The original poster is an illustration. "I'm a real-life human being who chose to look right down the barrel of the camera to you, the viewer, because without words, we communicate with our eyes." So she's mad over the fact that y'all took the thing out the eyes. But I think what the person was looking at, they just felt like, but that's not what we wanted. We wanted the overall look of the previous one, which I think I have that. Oh, so that's the original one with the eyes. But then when you look at the original one, it's like the hat comes down, like the brim is a lot lower where you don't see her eyes. So they wanted something, if you're going to do a photo based off of the original work, they wanted the original work. I don't think they were thinking of it too deeply like she is. So maybe the reason why Cynthia is feeling away, I don't know, if maybe she was being trolled online by a bunch of wokeists, people, the people that like to jump online and call every damn thing woke, have a problem that they have a black woman playing a witch in a movie that's painted green. When in the original version, I think it was on Broadway, wasn't it a white woman? Yeah, it was, what's her name? Who played Elphaba? Adele Nazim. That's not her name, it's Dina Menzel. But y'all know the John Travolta joke. So you had Idina Menzel that played her on Broadway for a long time. I don't know who's been playing her since, because I haven't seen Wicked in like a month of Sundays. And then you had Kristen Chenoweth playing the Ariana Grande character. So what was it, Glinda? And then you have Elphaba and Glinda. But so I don't know if like maybe she was trolled by a bunch of people and then she was at her wit's end with this and people was online saying all the things that they were saying. But I feel like, Cynthia, relax. Number one, I feel like you being a little too dramatic. I don't want to say, well, you know what? Maybe in a way I shouldn't tell somebody how to react to things. Her feelings are valid. She has a right to feel. Look at me sounding all Gen Z. Your feelings are valid. I tease. You know what I'm saying. She has a right to feel how she feels. And I can understand that sometimes when you're on social media, a lot of it can be overwhelming because you get a lot of trolls who are just going to run off and say a whole bunch of other stuff to get under your skin and get you to respond. And this takes me to this video that I was sent from Robert, where they was talking about how, like, the training that these celebrities are supposed to be getting, like media training. Like, whatever happened to that? Or why don't you hire, and I think this is what a lot of you celebrities need to do, hire someone who can manage your social medias and not y'all get up on there, because I feel like the way you're coming at it, you sound ungrateful. I feel like you're going to already create a situation that's going to turn a lot of the fans who are excited to see this movie off, and they're going to want to get their money back. They're going to probably, you know what, F this B. And I'm going to actually go and get a refund from whichever theater that you got your ticket from Regal, AMC, whatever theater y'all go to, even the mom and pop shops. I'm going to get my ticket back and I'm going to be like, screw them. I'm going to just wait until the movie comes out on streaming or whatever, because I'm not going to give you my money if this is how you're going to act. And I'm not going to sit up here and say the movie's already going to do bad, because I've already heard like the pre-ticket sales is crazy. So apparently there's a huge audience that wants to see this movie, which shocked me, because I said, well, and I said, for me personally, I'm not into like the movie musical thing. Like, I've tried to get into some of them, but I'll go see a Broadway play. And don't get me wrong, Broadway hits different than a movie musical. And based off of the tracking so far, the data, people are excited to see Wicked, and Wicked's definitely gonna, the pre-ticket sales is through the roof. So the movie's tracking to be a hit. I don't know how you're going to keep that momentum going for 2 parts, because now people got to wait a whole nother year for part 2, because it is 2 parts. So they having y'all wait a whole year for the next part. But yeah, but this whole thing is like, yeah, I already told you, it just says there to remind you and cleanse your palate. I just do feel like she's a little, she's doing too much. Ariana Grande also responded and said, I love you and cannot wait for the world to experience your sheer, utter magnificence in this. I'm not saying I love you. Wait, I'm just saying I love you. Here we go. Because I was like trying to really squint and read the picture. And look, Ariana Grande, I thought she did a good job on SNL. I did see some of the clips online. I don't watch SNL as a show because y'all not funny. Kind of like Seinfeld. But you basically, like, I see some of the clips, and I did like the one, the joke, the little skit that she did where she was singing with the magic couches and the furniture and stuff, was singing in the house. Kind of find out she was there was a serial killer, and they had all the DNA and everything on the cushions. That was a funny bit. And how they did like the whole joke on Charlie XCX and stuff. There was some funny bits in there. They also said something, what a moment in time, what a wonder we get to experience together, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so look, they're excited. They're brushing each other's hair and lifting each other up, blah, blah, blah. So, I can't wait for you to experience the joy that we did making this movie. And it's great. It'd be great if everybody could sit and enjoy it. However, I do feel like, Cynthia, that you are ruining the situation by getting a little too bent out of shape over people who go online and create fan designs of a movie that they're excited for. You're not the first, nor will you be the last movie that some fan who has Photoshop skills, I'm trying to think of the word, skills wasn't there, but that's what we're going to settle on. It was like, somebody who has the ability to do Photoshop, whether good, bad, or whatever, to create a little something, and you getting all bent out of shape on social media at the very people you need to come pay money to see this film that you're starring in. Because here's the thing, sis, this is not your movie. You're a part of the film, but this is not your movie. You're an actress in a film based off of an IP that's on Broadway, that's based off The Wizard of Oz, but it's its own thing because it's a story of Glinda and Elphaba, the witch, 2 witches. But it's in a musical. Y'all know the tea. I don't need to break it on down to y'all. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Do you think that Cynthia is just overreacting? Like, I get it. Maybe there's some things, because I understand, like, the way Black, people of color, I don't want to try to make it about race and being a woman and all this other stuff. However, in this day and age, the way a lot of y'all be acting on social media, when y'all come towards people who are not white and male, I would not be surprised that maybe these are the things that there was a lot of stuff that we're not privy to that she's been dealing with, that she's kept quiet. And this was the thing that apparently blew the pot off the lid. So let me know what your thoughts are in this story in the comments down below. Okay, so you said, well, we got a lot of comments. Oh, you said you watch a lot of Sloan's video. Child, I just saw a video where Perez Hilton read him because apparently Sloan Perez Hilton did an interview with Sloan about a year ago. And then I believe Sloan went on Trisha Paytas' podcast, and Perez became privy of it and said that Sloan was up in there lying through his damn teeth through the whole damn interview, talking about how Perez was being unprofessional, he was late, he was all this other stuff. And he was like, what you're recollecting on this episode didn't even happen. So it's like, I understand, like, a lot of you YouTubers and influencers are getting a lot big for your britches, but y'all can't be, based off of what someone else is saying, because there's one person's side, there's another person's side, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Y'all can't be up in here sensationalizing and making stuff up and pulling stories out y'all behind because you're looking to go viral. Just do the job that you're good at, which is be a blogger. But you got people out here doing the sensational. You got Sloan with his alleged stuff about Perez. Then you got Lipo Lee out here saying the stuff he's saying about Jay-Z and Beyonce, which I'm like, it's not far-fetched that maybe Jay and Bay had they people call up and do intimidations and bodies go missing or whatever the case was. Because remember, Jay-Z is from Marcy Projects, which wasn't too far from where I used to live in Brownsville, Brooklyn. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. You said the Cynthia story wasn't even mentioned. Wait, what are you talking about? Did I miss something? You know, sometimes I'll be so caught up in the moment trying to remember and say things. I'm like, wait, am I missing something? Remind me. And you said I posted the movie poster on my IG story, but I deleted it after I saw all that. Wait, people were sending you hate on Instagram based off of you posting it. Look, if you're excited to see the film, then post it. Don't listen to these damn people. Let them hate. Hate, 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 hate. The haters gonna hate. Okay, Miss Tayonce. The Wicked movie is about to face a backlash because apparently they have a ooh, bitch. No comment. It said Mama wanted her credit, but saying that is wild, so she went with this. Ariana Celine. Well, you know, I realized that maybe Ariana Grande is real good at like. Who was another singer that was able to? Who was it? There was somebody that was good at. Oh, Nicole Scherzinger. That's what it was. Remember how she was good at like imitating other singers? Like she was good at doing Britney and all other stuff. That's what kind of what Ariana reminds me of. Ariana and Stevie gave SNL their biggest viewership in 3. And funny enough, Stevie Wonder came to my job last week, and I was so glad I didn't work it because people was telling me a lot of you people that went to that concert was rude as fuck. That's what I heard. I was like, all them old people that was in there, y'all out here showing out. I would expect that at like a rap concert, but here's the gag. I've had no issues at rap concerts or rock concerts. It's always like the ones when you get with the older people. It's like y'all act like y'all ain't been out the house in years. No kind of home damn training. Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of people that's good at doing a Jennifer Coolidge impersonation. You said it's number 2 in preset. Thank you, because I was trying to remember. Like I know it was who was it behind? Oh, I think it might be behind Deadpool and Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, pre-ticket sales is definitely going to be successful at the box office, which shocked me. So I metaphorically eat crow on that because I was like, nobody care about this damn movie. I should just said I don't care because I don't. But apparently there's a lot of people that's looking forward to seeing this movie. So who knows? This might actually be a film that will defy gravity and expectation. You know, it was a pun. Young playing off the movie in the musical. It might defy expectations and finally be a musical that'll be a hit because a lot of these other movie musicals flop, except Wonka. I think Wonka did well. All the other ones pretty much flopped, especially Joker 2. We didn't even going to get into that trash. Well, you said Liam Payne's death is really affecting the current music generation, saying celebs die all the time, but we grew up with him. So yeah, and how do you think, like, look, this is why I always say, like, nobody ever knows what it really feels like until it's somebody that they like and it hits them. Because like with our generation, when we hear like certain celebrities pass away, how we feel when it comes to certain generations. And then like if we talk about Tina Turner passed away or somebody or another, or Michael Jackson when he passed away, that overall feeling. Now it's like, yeah, when a lot of people grew up with One Direction, it shouldn't be like, I would expect like people would be upset. My first Twitter account was a One Direction fan account. Oh my God. What? I guess my Siri is picking up on my watch because I'm like, what? They asked me, I'm like, I don't have no question. My first Twitter account was a One Direction fan account. They were my generation's boy band. And yeah, and my generation's boy band was NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. And you had, nobody acknowledges 98 Degrees, but you like your generation is One Direction. One Direction was, yeah, I was way too old at the point to be getting into them. Sloan wants to attack Jordan Miller. I don't know why, but Jordan Miller has several lawsuits that make him want to sell Breathe Heavy. No shade, but I don't particularly care for Sloan and that long ass jaw of his, but if you like it, I love it. And so they said, no, I saw all the hate. I mean, I see clips of his every now and again, but I just feel like he's a little obnoxious. I saw, it was like, you know, a lot of times when we do the blogging, all this stuff, it's not about us. We're supposed to be the messenger delivering the message, and we have a responsibility when it comes to that. But I feel like a lot of times, a lot of these bloggers, YouTubers, entertainers, messengers, y'all thinking y'all are freaking Wendy Williams in a lot of ways. And it's like, You don't have the range nor the personality to even carry Wendy Williams' throne, sit on her throne, let alone carry her water. So quiet as it's kept. So it said, no, I saw all the hate it got online on Twitter. Oh, and there's nothing wrong with the Photoshop version, but everybody likes what they like. Oh, you said Stevie Nicks. Well, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, I forgot she was on there. I totally forgot about that. She was on there. And Wicked is dropping the same week as Gladiator 2. They'll probably try to do a Barbenheimer. And funny enough, I was watching, I think it was John Campea. They mentioned that yesterday, that he said he'd be shocked if there would be a Barbenheimer type situation. But I wouldn't be surprised, because when I went to go see Terrifier 3, I saw the big poster for, Paul Mescal in the whole Gladiator regalia, because we already know he's playing Russell Crowe's son. Which I don't understand. Why didn't they get the original kid that played that act that was in that movie? He could have did it. He was just in Salem's Lot in a blink and you miss it role, but he was in it. So I was in there like, why didn't they just get him? He could have bulked up. He could have been able to play the part. But I guess they wanted a movie star, whatever type, or whatever. I don't know what they were looking for, but the actor from the original movie could have played the part. But when I went to go see, I was like, I kind of was having this moment in my head. I was like, I think I kind of want to see Gladiator 2 in the movies. But if it does end up a Barbenheimer type situation, I think a lot of people would be shocked, because I don't know if Gladiator 2, there's buzz, but there's not like big buzz. So I thought the scandal were heard it. Apparently not. I guess cheating is allowed. I thought we had more. Well, you think, please, the Arianators are definitely going to come out and support that movie. The musical heads, who, the people that love musicals, who aren't paying attention to all the drama that's going on, are going to support it. But I don't know. We'll see if this whole recent thing about Cynthia Erivo will hurt the film. Well, her going off on social media. My mom took Prince and Michael Jackson really hard. Exactly, because it's like when you of a certain generation. I mean, I was a little kid when Prince and Michael Jackson were like big. So I was aware of their music, but I wasn't like, but that would be more or less my parents' generation. Triple X, Tentacion, and Lil Peep. Come on, Lil Peep. I was just thinking of Dula Peep. Really hit Gen Z. What about Mac Miller? I think, do you think like Mac Miller hit people hard too? Speaking of Ariana Grande, you think and when he passed, it hit hit hard too? I wasn't really familiar with Triple X Tentacion's music. I was aware of him, but I wasn't familiar with his music. And Lil Peep, yeah, I know who he is. Well, you said my generation's boy bands were New Edition and Boy. My sister's generation was Boys to Men and New Edition. New Edition was definitely like, my sister loved New Edition. Ralph Tresvant, you couldn't tell her nothing when it came to him. That was her husband. You said Sloan Bot. But yeah, he do be giving good tea. I'm not going to hold him on that. But yeah, he do be slick with his shade. Me, I'm up front with mine. You got to catch the daggers when I'm throwing. I'm like, did you just throw a dagger? Yes, bitch, I did. In your direction. I don't know how you didn't feel it. And you said Paul Mescal having basically revealed that one night stand is a lie because his mom was, oh yeah, I did hear that story. But people need to leave him alone. He said, yeah, when Prince died, it hit me hard because that was my first concert. I never got the opportunity to see Prince or Michael Jackson. I did get to see Madonna. Oh, yeah, so I was right, because I was like, yeah, Mac Miller. I like Mac Miller, especially when he went in on Donald Trump. That was a cackle. He said, Lord, the day Madonna. Child, don't even get me started, because I don't know. We probably have to dedicate a whole episode to that. I ain't gonna play no music because I know how Warner Brothers gets with their copyrights. But I'll probably have to do like letting people come in the room, because I can do that with StreamYard. I could definitely have like people come in, and you could like, I'll drop the number. Y'all can all come in 10 at a time, and we could have like a little panel thing where people can come and give their overall assessment, like when they think of Madonna. I'll even put like, I don't even want to think about that at this point, because Madonna's already going through it, especially like her stepmother, and her brother passing away. And I did see that story from Radar Online about how they talk about she's turned into Kabbalah. I'm like, wasn't she always doing Kabbalah? Like how even more she gonna turn to it? I'd be more concerned if y'all said she was becoming a Scientologist. Then I'd gag. What was it like when Whitney and Donna Summer passed? I don't know. Well, Whitney, I'm trying to remember. Donna Summer, I liked her music, but I wasn't into Donna Summer like that. So I don't know. Because Donna wasn't really my generation. Like, by the time I was born, it was years after disco died. It was like, when did disco die? Like 78, 79, 80, I don't know. So yeah, I have no idea. But in regards to Whitney, I know definitely that was a hard one because she was in the bathtub, and that was like what, 15 years ago. So yeah, Whitney definitely hit hard because Whitney is like, even though when she came out, I was like a baby. I was gonna say an infant. I was a little older. I was a baby, but of course, when the music spans generations, and she was making music from like the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s and stuff. So, you know, I was always listening to Whitney, especially when she came out with that "It's Not Right, But It's Okay," bitch. And the remixes, I was getting my good homosexual life with that album. Shout out to Thunderpuss. Oh yeah, Whitney's so I do remember that. But as far as Donna Summer, yeah, Donna Summer was not my ministry all that much. It's like I was aware of the songs, but yeah, they said Whitney was all over the news. Donna Summer didn't have the that no shade, but yeah, that's true. She didn't really get the coverage. It was mentioned in passing, and that was it. Okay, so hold on. So where are we going? Oh yeah, so we did mention. I'll get to the other comments afterwards. We got a couple more topics to get to. So now let's get into the Safaree story. So apparently they're talking about that he is, trolling his ex. And she even went and dropped some receipts. So it looks like Safaree, who's 43, is taking legal action against his ex-wife, Erica Mena, who's 36. I didn't even know she was that young. And that's no shade. I'm just saying, I did not realize she was like in her mid-30s. Because she's been on TV for so long. And I think it's just that, I guess with everything going on and how, I'm going to just keep my comments to myself. I don't want to throw no shade in her direct, because I was going to say all the mileage on that puss. I was like, okay, 36. But anyway, so they said former Love and Hip Hop star Safaree Samuels. Oh, he not on there no more? I don't know. I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop in so long. I don't know who's on what. So apparently they said that he's pleading with a judge to lower his child support payments to ex-wife Erica Mena. And this is according to In Touch, because they had the tea. So according to court documents obtained by In Touch, Safaree filed a petition in Georgia court on June of 2023. Safaree explained, so why is this coming out now? Or is it that they made a mistake and said June 2024? Because why are we talking about something that's a year ago? But anyway, so this says Safaree explained they reached a divorce settlement in 2022 that covered all issues, including custody, child support, and the division of the property. Per their deal, the exes share custody of their 2 minor children. Safaree agreed to pay $4,305 a month in child support. Now, in his new petition, he said the child support amount was based upon his monthly income of $61,000 per month and Erica's monthly income of $41,289 per month. Well, how the hell he know her income? And he trying to say she make more. Oh wait, first of all, she can't make more than you, because if she's bringing in $41,000 a month and you're bringing in $61,000 a month, then you should be able to bring it. You should be paying that child support. But then again, you shouldn't have married her and laid down and had 2 kids if that's not what you want to take on your responsibility. He also said that since the order was entered, there has been a significant change in circumstances regarding the custodial arrangement and earnings of the parties. Safaree's lawyer argued specifically Safaree has greater parenting time, exceeding the prescribed 12 days. Safaree has the minor children in his physical custody on average 3 to 4 weeks consistently during his time. In his filing, Safaree said that he has no longer earned $61,000 per month. His lawyer noted at the time of the divorce, the petitioner was a main reality talent for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, yet he's no longer full-time talent on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. How much money Mona over there paying her talent? Further, at the time of the divorce, the petitioner was also booking appearances and generating an income for such appearances. The petitioner is no longer able to accept the same level of booking engagements to date. In addition, Safaree claimed he experienced a significant loss in income due to the direct acts of Erica 36, saying that she engaged in extensive public disparagement campaign against him on social media. Now, his lawyer wrote, Erica, for nearly 6 consecutive months, has made public posts on her social media platform to her over she got 6 million followers, referring to Safaree as a deadbeat and attacking his parenting skills without reason. Additionally, Erica has created a confusion regarding Safaree's efforts to secure new employment by harassing Safaree's potential co-stars and or co-workers via multiple phone calls to the potential co-workers and production, disparaging Safaree with false claims. He said Erica's comments harmed his ability to book appearances since his fan base is predominantly women. Further, he said that Erica's earnings had increased since their divorce. He demanded his monthly child support be lowered and his ex-wife cover his child. He even wanted her to cover his legal fees. Now, they said there's been no movement in the... Okay, so now it makes sense. Because I'm like, wait a minute, why are we talking about this now? So the first time with the case, it was in June of 2023. That's why it happened like over a year ago. So they basically said there's been no movement in the case since June of 2023. But here's the thing. Safaree up in here talking about he ain't got no money, right? But didn't you just go to Nicki concert like last week, where he admitted that he bought a multitude of tickets spanning over $2,000? Now, if you was on the floor, if you were doing floor section, whatever, I know them floor tickets was more than some damn $2,000 because you went up in there with a bunch of damn bodyguards and was living it up with the people, the other barbs that was at the concert, up in there living it up with you. You rapping along, talking about you here just for love or something. You didn't. You were there for clout. Let's call a spade a spade. You know damn well that you played a prominent role in her career, the early stages of her career. So you basically, after you were cast to the side, after y'all broke up or whatever drama that transpired with y'all relationship, I'm not checking your relationship like that, but once y'all went y'all separate ways and Nicki was doing what she was doing, now all of a sudden you want to troll her and go up in there, which she had to read you down to the floor at the concert. And then I noticed the barb started to turn on him once Nicki said something. But before, there was a lot of y'all that was living it up with him. Because I see y'all phones turn in his direction while they was filming him. I seen the videos. So with all of that, now he's somebody he don't have no money, but then he's living in a mansion. Is he still with Amara La Negra? And that's what I'm wondering. So he's got a mansion. He's riding around in expensive cars. You spend a whole lot of money to go see Nicki in concert until you was kicked out, or or according to you, you left. You out here just spending up all this money, and aren't you on aren't you on House of Villains season 2? So I'm sure there's income I don't know if that came in a while ago and you spent it all up, or is it that when the show starts to air, that's when y'all get y'all check? I don't know how the whole reality TV thing works in regards to when y'all get y'all money. But I'm sure probably like after you shot what you shot, y'all got y'all money and you went your merry way. So you're not out here doing like club appearances, because what else reality stars do? Unless you taking some of that money and accumulating it into, real estate or business ventures, whatever the case is, or you just making your money solely, from a bunch of checks. If you need money, if you can afford to pay your child support, then maybe you need to pawn some of these little fur coats you like to be wearing. Because throughout the show and in this picture, you love a fur coat. You're like the male Patti LaBelle. You love a fur coat. But here's the gag. So Erica Mena, courtesy of the Neighborhood Talk, posted a calendar for this year, 2024, of Safaree when he actually comes for because he's talking about that he has the kids, a lot. Out of the year, he takes, the kids under his wing. She dropped the receipts. Please hold. So you can see here, all the yellow is Erica. All the red is Safaree. So it looks like since July, because I guess we didn't get August or whatever yet. So since, she dropped the receipts for August. Let me see, 1, 1, 1. It looks like out of the year, he's only taken the kids about 15 times. She said 16, but it looked like based on the count, so 15, 16, tomato. So basically, she's basically said, mom is yellow, dad is orange. Well, it looked like it's red, but she says it's orange. Let's go with it. Imagine trying to detect CS from your BM when she said when that's they get from you since he skips out on birthdays and Christmas by choice, and you only seen your kids 16 times this whole year so far. And somebody said in the comments he was more excited to stalk Nikki at her concert than see his own kid. I should not laugh, but facts are facts. Another person said, I keep telling y'all to leave these Jamaican men alone. They're going to give you heaven, hell, and an extra scoop of hell every time. Well, you know what? You lay down with dogs, you end up with fleas. I do kind of sort of feel bad for Erica. And I know that, people go in on her because the colorism comments and stuff that she said on that show, which got her fired because she said what she said towards Spice, call her a monkey, all other stuff, and all that is valid. Especially when I believe that isn't Erica Dominican? And we already don't even get me started on how these Dominicans be trying to act like they ain't black. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But with all that, isn't she making money over there at the Zeus Network? I think Lemmy done hired her for some stuff. So she's out here taking care of the kid. But in regards to this whole situation, if this all turns out to be true, Safaree, pay your damn child support. So I'm trying to get out of situations and make her handle all the weight and everything that goes on with your responsibility, because it took two of you to do the horizontal mambo to make them babies. And as in them babies, I'm talking about how Mariah Carey referred to her twins. So if y'all lay down together and decide to have those children, you, sir, need to hold your end of the bargain and pay that money. And if you can't afford to be paying what you need to be paying to take care of them kids, you need to get out there and hustle harder. Start selling them fur coats. Start selling a lot of them cars that you got allegedly in the driveway that you want to drive around. So you want to sit up in here and floss, because a lot of you reality stars want to do that to keep up with the Joneses and all the other stuff. You're going to have to live fruitful and fancy free and frugal, excuse me, to be able to take care of those kids. Take care of your responsibility. So I still like to say, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. You said Donald Summer died a few months after Whitney. Yeah, he is on. Yeah, and he was on that. I forgot that he was on that horror show. I believe it was New York was on there, Alaska, a bunch of people. I remember watching that show years ago. And it was like some horror thing, whatever, reality show. I think it lasted like maybe a season or two. But I do remember on that, and New York was on it. And there was a period where they were flirting. They might have hunched. I wouldn't be surprised. You see how big Safaree meat is? Not that I'm condoning that behavior, but you know how people get when they dickmatized. But anyway, let's talk about Tia Tamara, or Tia and Tamara. Some people like to say Tia Tamara. Some people like to combine their names. Combine my name. So Tia Mowry is opening up about why she didn't tell her twin sister Tamara about her new reality show, Tia Mowry, Then My Next Act. So Tia Mowry has an explanation for why her sister Tamara didn't know about her reality TV show, which aired earlier this month on AMC Network's WeTV. Now, speaking about her decision not to inform Tamara about Tia Mowry, My Next Act, Tia downplayed the decision as nothing special. Now, child, we got the clip, courtesy of The Shade Room. Hold on. Oh, damn, I need to do that article where you talking about the Menendez brothers, family members. We definitely got to do that story another time. But damn, I don't know why I didn't want to open. So now I got to scroll down because I had it and now it don't want to. Oh, wait. Why it didn't open? Okay, so I got it now. Please hold. Because I was like, wait a minute, why you opening the whole page? I wanted to go specifically to the video on Instagram, which normally I have my stuff open. Today I forgot. Because, I told you I was running erratic trying to put this show together. And sometimes I forget. when it's time to put clips and things. But here we go.
That she didn't know that a reality show was coming, like you were doing one. So is there a reason why you didn't tell him?
That's normal. I mean, do you tell your brother and your sister everything?
Well, I do tell him anytime I get a new job or something of significance.
You know, it's something that just happens. I mean, I found out something about my brother the other day and he didn't tell me. It's just, I feel like, you know, like I said, we have.
This is significant.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's normal, you know, for you not to tell everyone everything. It doesn't mean anything, you know. There's nothing loaded, you know, with that, I guess. You know, it is. She's living her life. I'm living my life. You know, we don't have to tell each other everything, and that's very normal.
She said that.
Okay. I love you, Tia, but you full of shit. You are full of ish in this video. Now, before I get to my overall thoughts, here's the thing that they were saying. Now, they said a few months ago, Tamara spoke to reporters about her relationship with Tia. Basically said Tia is living her life right now, and Tia is doing Tia. I got a cousin named Tia, but I don't like that bitch. But that's not about her. That's about this Tia, who I actually like. And they said to Tamara happily. She was then asked if she was aware of Tia's show, prompting her to say, I didn't know until I found out with the rest of the world. You think Tia and Tamara have a sort of like with the Tamar, with, you know, the Braxton sisters, how they be, you know, this TV thing and what's going on in the industry kind of affected their relationship because one is, you know, more famous than the other. And there might be some situations, especially because when you are a twin, it's like trying to carve out your own identity. And maybe that's why Tia didn't tell Tamara, because she's like, you know what, we are twins. And yeah, on Sister, they had to say that stupid line, we walk alike, we talk alike, we're twins. See? Remember that stupid line when they said in that show? And it's kind of like, yeah, but in real life, we want to carve our own identity. I want to do my own thing. This is my own show. However, that's great. But I'm not going to deny letting people in on the fact that I have a job. Like if I have a gig and Tia, Tamara, and Taj are all actors, you don't think I'm going to let my actor siblings know that I got a gig? And if this was something that I was doing, I'm shouting it from the rooftop. I'm going to definitely tell family members. That's the first thing I'm going to tell. Look, mom, dad, siblings, I got a new gig. I got my own reality show. And if they want to be like, well, can I be on it? No, sis, I'm trying to do my own thing. Now, maybe if something, you know, I need to squeeze something in and they be like, okay, now we need to judge up these ratings. And then, yeah, you need to give Tamara a call and bring her into the situation. Then I'm like, first of all, I feel kind of way because you're trying to say I'm not that interested and I can't hold down my own reality show. And then number two, I'm like, well, damn, I guess maybe it would kind of help. But I guess the reason why she didn't say nothing because she wanted to do her own thing. Now, I haven't seen the show. I don't know if it's good or not. If it is, definitely let me know in the comments. But to me, I'm just like, because, wait, did I even, oh yeah, she said that Tia's doing Tia. She then was asked if she was aware of the thing. She said, oh, well, we already read that. Then a reporter asked Tamara if she'll appear on Tia's show. She said, she didn't ask me, so I take that as a no. So when you say something like that, it does kind of feel like maybe there is a rift going on between them. And don't get me wrong, while it is true, because trust and believe, I don't tell my siblings, well, one of them I don't really speak to, but the one I do acknowledge, which is my sister, I don't tell her everything that I do, and she don't tell me everything she does. Now, if it happens to come up in a conversation, and I don't tell my parents everything either, but if it comes up in a conversation and it just so happens to relate to whatever we're talking about, I just so happen to mention something. But in regards to this, yeah, I'm definitely going to let people know that I have a job that that's going on or whatever the case is. So I'm not gonna keep that to myself. Now, in regards to the other stuff, I feel like there is some sort of a rift going between the two. And the rift, I think, it's probably because Tia's a little more open and very much like bohemian, living her best life, trying to figure her stuff out. And then when she left that man, Corey, alone, Corey Hardrick, the actor, who was just in that horrible ass movie that Tyler Perry directed with Jonathan Major's girl. He was just in that. So she's out here living her best life, trying to figure her things out and coming into her own. Tamara running behind that white man. No shade to the white man, but her being down. Well, she's a swirled child anyway. They're biracial. But she got that white man who's a little radicalized. Over there, he's on the Republican side. I believe he's also a Trump supporter. So maybe they have differences of opinion politically and the way that they raise their children differently. There could be a lot of things. And, unfortunately, sometimes what happens in relationships, especially with family members, siblings, whatever you want to call it, we outgrow each other. And I don't know if we should say, well, yeah, it should be okay to outgrow people, friends, relationships, even, sibling situations. And we're not all going to get along. Not all siblings get along. And maybe there is a situation going on because, they're twins. And Tia wants to carve out her own identity. Tamara's over there doing her thing. And she said, "Is this much ado about nothing?" But sis, when your eyes kept rotating to the left, I'm like, I don't believe that. I believe there's some more stuff going on, and you just don't want to let us in on it. But here's the thing: don't put us in the group chat if you don't want us to ask the questions that we're wondering. So what were some of the people saying over there at the neighborhood talk? Child, why y'all always got to bring Beyonce in this situation? One person said, bet y'all won't ask Beyonce why she don't follow Solange. I'm like, they don't follow each other? I was going to say, maybe Beyonce ain't on social media, but yes, she is. With all that Cowboy Carter and that liquor line and the hairline and all that stuff, she always advertising her stuff on there. So Beyonce do be online. And she always doing a photo of This Ain't Texas photo shoot. So she do be online. But I didn't know she was following. First of all, y'all need to get a life. I don't be up in there just looking to see who following who. It's too many things going on for people to be following. Well, this one ain't following this one. But if y'all want to do the work, kudos to you. Another person said, I feel like she crashing out in real life and we're witnessing it in real time. Another person said, normalize people having their own individual lives and boundaries, even if they're twins. And I agree with that. I feel but if that's the case, I feel like maybe Tia should have said that. It's like, I'm doing my thing, she's doing her thing. I feel like when you do say something like, well, the stuff that she said, it kind of opens up Pandora's box for people to speculate something going on between y'all, that y'all relationship is, child, not to read. Somebody said, is it me? Is it me? Shout out to Funky Dunley. Is it me or is Tia? They said Tia is aging and Tamara is not. Well, Tia and Tamara are like what, 45, 46? Not saying that that's old, but maybe she's going through some things. Another person said, nah, they not cool. They just trying to stay positive about it. As a person that doesn't have a relationship with her younger sister, I know the lingo when you're trying to smile and not say anything that'll let people know what's going on. But her body language pretty much said what her mouth didn't. I'm good at reading body language. So they said Tia couldn't even find the words to lie. Absolutely. And that's what I was thinking. When you talk regularly, those things come up when you ask what you've been up to or what's going on. I have a sister I'm very close to and everything come up. Cut it out. She's living her life and I'm living mine, says everything. That means she's over there and I'm over here. So we'll just leave it at that. And I kind of agree with that. I do think that they just have they're just, off doing their own thing. They've separated. Tia's over here. Tamara's over here. They living their life wherever. And that's, I guess, fine. It's just the nature of the thing. Sometimes stuff like that happens. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Do you think there is something going on between them, or do you think people just overreacting and it's just much ado about nothing? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Now, speaking of comments, we got a lot of them. I love when y'all jump in the comments. Y'all make the show even more lit because y'all say some of the stuff I just be like having to sip a lot of tea on because I'm like, you're not gonna have me go down with that shit, like Dido says in her song. Oh yeah, it was Scared Famous. Thank you. I knew somebody was gonna remember the name, but I knew it had something to do with horror. And you said, I know one is preferred more than the other twin because of their husband politics and working for Fox News. I'm sorry, but yeah, hating Republicans is normalized. You want to know who I want to know whose relationship is how they doing? I want to know, how is Jimmy McCain's relationship and Nutmeg McCain? Because y'all know Jimmy came out and supported Kamala. And y'all know who Nutmeg is married to. So I wonder if they're cordial. I believe it. They're not as close anymore. They used to be super close. Sister, sister, never know how much I miss you. Remember that song? Could it be because that's what I was thinking. It might be because of her husband. And you know, sometimes these women do pick me the meat and potatoes over siblings. I'm like, sis, the dick can't be that damn good. Don't tell me that's who you lost your virginity to. Because I'm like, if you still gonna bind yourself by the one peen rule, then you need to aim a little higher. And so I do believe her husband played a role in this. Plus, Tamara is very much conservative. Tia teased her for being a... So now I believe it. Because you just said that. I said, please don't tell me that the man she married to was the man she lost her virginity to. Child, I'm gagging because I found out Miley Cyrus lost her virginity to Liam Payne. I mean, Liam Hemsworth, not Liam Payne, child. Liam Hemsworth. I'm gagging over that. I'm like, really? Don't tell me that was your first time at, with some Australian peen. Shout out to the Hemsworths. Chris, Liam, and the other one that was on Westworld. I forgot his name. Yeah, that's why I believe it. There's some conflict. Damn, I just drank some water. Gotta drink again. Good luck. Ask a B what time it is. Okay. You said I also get why the Olsen twins left Hollywood. The press would make it a competition. And you know what? They're still, living their best life with some child, but no shade. But the Olsen twins look like the Elflings from The Dark Crystal. Try by stove. I remember when Tamara was promoting her book the same week Tia announced she was getting oh damn, that's messy. Did they ask her about it? Because I don't know, I wasn't keeping up with that. I heard this T revealing the true feeling of John on Megan. Are you talking about like how John McCain felt about his daughter? You said they previously said distance was a factor. Oh, the fact that they probably live in different states, because I'm sure that Tia is in LA. Where does Tamara live? Tamara gives me like she lives in a conservative area like a Texas or something. She gives me that. They did ask about it. I want to know, well, what did they say? Because inquiring minds want to know. Especially like when it comes to when they asked about, I mean, I read the thing I read before, but I don't think that was what they asked in regards to the reality show, in regards to what it was happening around the book situation. But they all gonna ask about that. I wonder where Taj. Wait, didn't Taj marry? I was gonna say, didn't Taj marry a woman? That would be the first time a homosexual married a woman. I mean, hey, Hugh Jackman, among others. But anyway, let me stop trying to throw daggers at people that didn't ask for it. Okay, let's get into this. Ozempic, conversation. And talk about Fat Joe revealing the tea in regards of how he lost 200 pounds. Well, at least he's admitting it. I'm just waiting on Christina Aguilera to come out and tell us how she lost all that damn weight and looking like a big old bobble-headed crackhead. And that's no shade to her, but it's just like, ma'am, you ain't lose all that for no damn diet and exercise. Because you look skinnier than the way you was back in your Genie in the Bottle days. But then again, this is not about Christina. This is about Fat Joe. It's about Joey Crack. It's about Joseph Cartagena. Or as he like to call Cartagena. I'm like, you a real American. Because Puerto Ricans do not pronounce it Cartagena. Anyway. So they said the All the Way Up rapper credited the type 2 diabetes drug, which many celebrities have turned to for weight loss, while sharing his tips and tricks to slimming down in a new interview. He said Ozempic says you may only have 2 pieces of your favorite. Only 2 pieces? Can I eat 2 pieces in a biscuit? Jesus is a biscuit. Let him sop you up. Can I do 2? Well, I'll probably just even eat 2 pieces of that 1 piece of chicken. And that's going to be it. But I like food too much to want to only eat 2 pieces or something. Wait, don't they do the sleeve or that sort of thing? But I think people eat through that. So they said the rapper, I don't even know. I don't need to tell y'all what his real name was because I already referred to it earlier in the story. The rapper didn't specify when he began using the injection or if he's still taking it. They said, however, he has newfound knowledge over what kinds of foods to avoid, has also contributed to his dramatic weight loss transformation. He said, we just try to eat everything with the least carbs as possible. So we try to stay away from the bread, the pasta, the rice. That's the smartest way to eat. Well, here's the thing. If I was to ever get to a point where I would need Ozempic, like if I was Fat Joe size, thank God I'm not, but if I was that big, if I was a big girl, big girl, big girl. If I was a big girl, I wouldn't be eating all that stuff anyway. I don't really eat bread like that. I mean, I would if I have like a sandwich or something, but oh damn. So it's like, oh yeah, I do. Cause sometimes when I have breakfast, I like those, you know, I go to the deli and I get a sausage, egg and cheese on a hero or a roll or whatever the case is. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna have to stay away from the bread. So I do eat a lot of bread. I don't eat a lot of rice and I don't eat a lot of pasta. I do a lot of bread though. But one of my friends was telling me about a type of bread that he was saying that I should try out that's really good. And it has like no, it's like made with wholesome, high quality ingredients. And it's called RHONJ. He was telling me that that's like this artisan bread, like it's really healthy. So they have like that. They have like the bread, the bagels, and that sort of thing. So I was like, oh, I think I want to try that. But I probably got to go to one of those little fancy smancy places to get it. Because you ain't going to find that in the hood. Not that I live in the hood, but I'm just saying. So he said that he also added that he also learned portion control and how to eat in moderation. And that's those are the tricks they tell you without the Ozempic. That it's like, I think because of the way we grew up, of course, like if you come from a Latino household, they do like, I'll even say my grandmother used to give me like plates, like they stuff you with food. They want to, you know, did you eat? And even if you're like, I ate already, they constantly eat. You know, Puerto Ricans, Italians, Latinos are like that in general. Where it's just like they fatten you up. Not saying fatten you up. I should use that word. But it's just like, you know, you will literally, the whole plate is covered in food. And so it's just like, we don't know a lot about moderation, of course. And also, if you grew up like in poor neighborhoods and this, that, and the other, you don't have access to a lot of healthier foods. Food is expensive. Like even if you want to eat healthy, it's a lot more expensive. Which is why a lot of times when people are struggling, what they'll do is they'll eat fast food. They're eating a lot of cheaper stuff, which is full of all kinds of sugars and carbs and all kinds of other things that's not good for your body. And these days in America, you know, the way that they put all that high fructose corn syrup and all the crap in things, our bodies are not meant to break down all the crazy chemicals they put in this food. But you go overseas, you hear stories about how people say, oh, the pasta tastes leaner, it tastes healthier. I feel like I could eat, but I don't feel heavy. I don't feel fat. I don't feel like I got itis. But it's only in America because, you know, don't even get me started on the GMO, you know, the GMOs and all other mess. And how they put all this crap in the food that makes it hard for our bodies to break down. So he went and said, like this morning, I ate breakfast. I had this toast. I cut the corner off, ate it, and I don't eat the corners of toast either, and kept it moving. Normally, I would have ate the whole thing, but you know, that's what we do. We cut carbs and try to be smarter. Despite his slim down figure, the lean back crooner assured fans that his signature stage name ain't going nowhere, and they have his wife, Lorena Cartagena, to thank for that. He said, my wife would kill me. She likes me being a big boy. She hallucinates like I'm still that big boy. She loves that. And shout out to all the women and some of you men that live for, you know, men that are a little thick or big. You don't want to be morbidly obese like Big Pun was. And I think Big Pun died because he was extremely overweight. So I think like maybe if he had access to that drug back in the day, he probably would have, he'd still be with us. But it was like, yeah, that child, that, you know, just we have to make it easily accessible for people to be able to take care of themselves, diet, exercise. And I have no problem with people who use Ozempic. If you need something, because not everybody could just go and think like, okay, so what was his weight? He said that he dropped the weight after once weighing, he weighed 470 pounds in a July 2023 interview. That's what he said, that he dropped the weight because he was 470 pounds. But how tall is he? Not that that matters, but it does kind of matter because I want to know like your height versus and body mass index and that sort of thing. And this was what he revealed in Men's Health of July 2023. He said your body is just a computer. It reads stuff you eat in different ways. And you don't know how your body is going to respond to all of that. And I'm glad that, you know what, he's taking better care of himself because he is a man of a certain age. You know, especially if you're a man of color, we have like high blood pressure, diabetes, that sort of thing that affects us. He also said he started paying attention to things like his blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. However, he also insinuated that his mental health played a role in his physical health while reflecting on his battle with depression. There isn't a place you can go where you get away from it because you're fighting your mind. You wake up and then the minute you think about it, your brain sends you a message to say you're not supposed to be happy and you fall right back into depression. And I do feel like when you eat certain things, it definitely affects your mental health as well as your physical health. So we have to be cognizant of what we put in our bodies. And also there's other celebrities that have come out and used Ozempic, Kathy Bates, Tracy Morgan. But I don't think they mentioned Kelly Clarkson, but I don't think she admitted that she's used Ozempic. That's the implication. Also, people got rumors out here that another Kelly used it, Kelly Osbourne. Also, remember at one point her mother was using it, Kelly Osbourne's mother. There's been a lot of celebrities out here using Ozempic and have been accused of using Ozempic. And I feel like if you're already a size 2, you don't need to be out here using no damn Ozempic. But I do also feel like if you are someone of Fat Joe's weight, if you need help to try to get the weight off, I don't mind people using Ozempic. But also, I'm going to eat right. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to also hit the gym so I can tone up all that weight that I'm losing. And so I can look good. And Fat Joe looks good. So shout out to him. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so you said yes, and it could cause Megan serious depression. His little brother married a woman. Oh, you talking about? Oh wait, I forgot. Isn't it? There's 4 of them, right? Her father didn't prevent her from being fired from his campaign. Oh. Didn't Anna Navarro work for John McCain? It said Tina looked good too. Oh. You talking about all that plastic surgery she had? You talking about Tina Knowles, Mama Tina? And she probably on that too. But yeah, I don't like people who are already thin. Or just because you want to get rid of a little bit of fat, then you want to use Ozempic. No, just go to the surgeon and have them suck that fat out. Don't be wasting the good Ozempic that people with actual type 2 diabetes needs. But if you're a big girl, if you huge, then you should be able to use it. But shout out to Lizzo. I know people feel a way about her, but she been on showing off her fitness journey too. And I hope she's doing this for herself and not, ham and cheese in a roll, or was it ham and Swiss in a roll? If you know, wasn't that J-Lo Hannah for order? You said my grandma used to ask me every 3 exactly. So like they stay trying to fatten you up with food. I'm like, God damn, I just ate. Like, I don't want to eat again. Old people snack all day. They don't eat meals. But I always heard that it's good to they always say you should do 3 meals a day and then little snacks in between. So you're technically supposed to eat 6 times a day. Who has the time? I don't have time to be sitting there eating 6 times a day. Where do they do that at? You said, I don't think eating healthier is more expensive, but it's less convenient. Plus, food desserts exist. Well, with some people, it's like when they want to eat healthier things, it does cost a little bit more money. I mean, look, nobody wants to eat a rice cake. It ain't got no flavor. I say eat the chocolate ones. Tia and Tamara live 14 hours. Damn. LA and Napa Valley. 14 hours? That's how long it takes from one place to another? Napa Valley is Trump. And and this is why I always tell people, like, people really think California is just California. Like, oh, I'm going to California. Okay, what part? Are you coming to, Napa Valley? You're coming to Ojai? You're coming to Beverly Hills? You're coming to Silver Lake? You're going to, all these other different North Hollywood? You're going to downtown LA? Like, where are you going? So people need to realize, like, oh, you're going to San Diego, Sacramento. It's like, I'm going to just name all of them. It's like, California is huge. Like, there's places where you got to literally take a plane from one part, depending on what part of California you're going. So people don't realize how huge California is. Once you go there, you'll gag. Like how ginormous it is. You gonna see Whitney Houston? No. As much as I love Whitney, I was like, First of all, I don't like going to see concerts in the theater because I feel like I'm one of those curmudgeons. Like, I want to take it all in. Like, I'm a grunt when it comes to those. I don't want to hear these other people singing all tone deaf around me and irritating my situation while you sitting over there singing them songs. I'm like, would you shut the fuck up? Like, that's how I would be in that moment. So I'd rather just sit at home and wait till it comes out so I can enjoy it. Because that's how I like to watch those movie musicals. That's why I didn't go see Beyonce's Renaissance. Sidebar, sis, when are you releasing that to the public? Taylor Swift already released the Eras Tour. Was it the Eras Tour? Yeah, that was the other version. You know, she did change it up. So it's not like you're getting the same thing. Yeah, organic food is waste. Like, if you're trying to eat certain ways, if you're trying to eat clean and all this other stuff, yeah, it does cost a lot more. And they intentionally do that. Closer to Oregon is more Republican. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I was like, where'd my banners go? Okay, so how many more topics we got? Oh, damn, I was about to say 5, but it was like, no, we did the Liam Payne one. So we have 1, 2, okay, we got 3 more topics. And we are done with today's show. So before we get to those 3 topics, if you can, please, if you have not already, hit that like button, that subscribe button, also smash that notification button. So that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode on the YouTube stream of Chris Avalon's Unfiltered. I almost said .com. That's the website. But please hit that like button, that subscribe button, because it definitely helps with the show. And I love and appreciate y'all if you do. Ooh, I got more comments. You said the Swifties are singing in the movie theater and doing group circles. Yeah, that would, thank you, because that would irritate my spirit. I'm like, really? Like, it's giving me, damn, what's the name of that movie? With, they made a remake with Nicolas Cage, where it was like he goes into the town, or he's investigating some crime or whatever, and they're actually looking to use him as the Wicker Man. It's giving me the Wicker Man tease. That's what it gives me when y'all be over there rolling around, running around, like Ring Around the Rosie in the room singing her song, and y'all in your little sundresses. That would drive me to drink. That's why I was like, I'm like one of those. Like, I'm real grumpy when it comes to that. I was like, I want to see this stupidness. You said, yeah, Tavia Mowry. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he is cute. I've seen him. And it's funny how I love how the parents will do, like, with their kids. Like, the Braxtons, how they all got T's. The Kardashians are all K's. Tia and Tamara and them, all of them, they all T's. I love a theme. The Internet Archive might shut down. What's the Internet Archive? Oh, you said, have you searched the Internet Archive to try to find your old blog? I need to, because my former publicist was telling me a story about, because I got some tea years ago that I did. Well, first of all, I did my interview with Bob the Drag Queen. I need to find that, because that was on my old website. And then also, there was one that I did with, where I broke a story about James Franco being a nuisance at a book release party. Had the pictures and everything. But then when I lost that website that I was paying for, by the way, I don't know where it went. So maybe I need to check the Internet Archive so that way I could pull all of that and then put it and attach it to this thing. Because I remember when I did that old Tribe website, I was able to pull all that stuff into what I'm using now, which is funded by Wix and all the other stuff. So I was like, thank God I was willing to put, because I was like, I do not want to have to go through that again. Where all that work I was doing on my website and I lost all my stuff. That really pissed me off. The Internet Archive might shut down. You said Taylor is also dropping her vinyl on Thanksgiving week, Black Friday, so she'll compete with Christmas music. Do y'all feel she doing too much with all these releases? Do y'all feel like she doing too much with this? That she just like coming out with all these things? I understand she's feeding the Swifties and y'all are eating it up, but do y'all feel like she overdoing it in regards to like just constantly giving y'all stuff? exclusive, but isn't the stuff that's supposed to be coming out, isn't that going to Target? Which I just saw that they opened one in Chelsea. It's finally open on 23rd Street, 8th Avenue, right by the subway. I was coming from the gym today and I saw it. I said, "Ooh, the Target is open." I need to go up in there and pick up stuff. First of all, my drug of choice was the huge family pack bag of M&Ms. And my pharmaceutical stuff, yes, I have an addiction to peanut M&Ms. So it's like, I don't do drugs, but that's my drug of choice, M&Ms. But anyway, let's move on. And let's give our kudos and send our love to Miss Ananda Lewis, who I don't know if y'all are familiar with who she is. If you are of a certain generation, you know who she is. She was an MTV VJ. She was actually of my generation because I remember, look, y'all may not know this, or maybe you do. I may have mentioned this, I don't know. But I did audition to be a VJ twice. When they did that competition in New York City, Who Wants to Be a VJ? The first season when it was, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Jesse Camp and Talia. They were like the ones that went through it. And I remember at one point they hired Matt Penfield wound up auditioning. He wound up getting a job over there anyway. And then who else was it? Dave somebody. What was his name? There was a he came in second, but they wound up giving him a gig too. It was Dave somebody. I don't know why I'm thinking of Dave Myers. Dave Myers, the music video director. Dave Holmes. That's what it was. I don't know if y'all wrote that in the, hold on. Was it the comment? No, y'all didn't write it in the comments. So yeah, this came to my head. So it was Dave Holmes. He wound up getting a gig over there too. And Jesse Camp, I was like, okay, is this a joke when y'all picked him? Like, he was entertaining, but I was like, yeah, I don't know if he was on heroin or whatever. But he was a mess when he was over there at MTV. And I know why I messed up my audition, because I had a hard time reading the damn teleprompter. So I struggled with that. So that was like my issue, why I failed my audition. So anyway, so they said the former MTV VJ shared that her breast cancer has metastasized, I should say, and is now at stage 4. Lewis was 51. Damn, she around the same age as Shannon Doherty. Previously shared that she'd been diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in a 2020 Instagram post, saying that she refused mammograms for years due to a fear of radiation exposure. Who was feeding her this information? And then it was somehow that she refused to get the tumor removed. She wanted to go the holistic route, because you know how these people get when they go against science. I don't want to blame her in so many ways, but girl. And, you know, I live for her. I remember the time when I auditioned, when I was at, and then years later when I ended up being at MTV, Viacom, I should say. I used to see her run around in the hallways. I used to see her. I used to see Carson Daly. I used to see Sway. I used to see all of them up in there. And so they said, but during a roundtable discussion on cancer with CNN Stephanie Elam and CNN anchor Sarah Sidner, who was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer earlier this year, Lewis shared that she went against her doctor's recommendation for a double mastectomy following her diagnosis. Something that I will shout out to Angelina Jolie, because she was told that as well, and knowing her family history with the cancer, she was smart enough to get hers. Your boob should not define who you are as a woman. If it's going to save your life, take it into consideration. If you don't agree with it, get a second, third, or fourth opinion. But if the doctors are trying to save your life, listen to them. So she said, my plan at first was to get out excessive toxins in my body. I felt like my body is intelligent. I know that to be true. Our bodies are brilliantly made. I decided to keep my tumor and try to work it out of my body a different way, she shared. Looking back on that, I go, you know what? Maybe I should have. Well, you know what? When she talked about she wanted to push the tumor out of her body, why does it sound like Dakota Fanning in that scene from War of the Worlds, where she got the split in her finger? She said, I'm going to just let God, the universe do its thing. I'm going to let it push it out. That's not how tumors work. So they said, Alam explained in a voiceover that Lewis pursued homeopathic remedies as well as medication and radiation and better sleep and diet. While she says Lewis improved for a while, last year the MTV alum discovered her cancer had spread. Saying my lymph system really flared up. It was the first time I ever had a conversation with death because I felt like this is how it is. I was like, fudge, man. I really thought I had this. I was frustrated. I was a little angry at myself. And I said, man, listen, I know you're coming for me at some point, but I don't want it to be now. And if you could just wait, I promise when you do come, I'm going to make it fun for you. I literally had the conversation laying in my bed. I couldn't get out of bed for like 8 weeks. Cynthia shared that her diagnosis made her seek more joy in her life, while Lewis reflected on her decision to not pursue a double mastectomy, saying, my quality of life was very important to me. I want to be here. So I had to do it a certain way for me. Meanwhile, the 52-year-old CNN anchor who underwent a double mastectomy in May said that her cancer diagnosis made her realize, I want to be here. I want to thrive in a way I have never felt before. And now, as Alam shared in an Instagram post about the conversation, saying that I'm forever grateful for their willingness to have the conversation with me, to fully open up for the world. If I can get just one woman to get their mammogram because of the conversation, that's success. I want everyone to live long, healthy lives. And you know what? Shout out to Ananda. She made her decision. That was the decision that she made, and we got to respect it. And she realizes, what she's realized, and she's coming to terms with what she needs to do. And, if this conversation could get us to the point, excuse me, where it opens up a woman's eyes to hearing Ananda's story, and she touches one person with that story, or many others, but just one person, and a woman realizing, you know what, watching this made me go get a mammogram. Now these stories, I went to go get the double mastectomy. I weighed my options. I did the research. I looked at the things. And when you have to look at it, it's like, you know what? This thing does not define who I am as a woman. This is going to keep me here longer to, so that way I can see my kids, if you have children, my kids grow up, my grandkids grow up, or a situation where it's just like, I get to go off and live a long life and take this time that I have to do something of value with it, then the better. So I'm a fan of Ananda, like I said. Like, I grew up watching her on MTV. She is of my generation. Like, she was up there with Carson Kressley, Carson Daly and all of them over there at MTV. And that whole VJ era, I know there was a VJ era before them, but this is more or less my generation with her. And you know what? My heart goes out to her. So get well, sis. I'll definitely be keeping abreast of the story as it develops, and I definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are on this, let me know in the comments down below. I never got into Swiffer Dust. It's like, I want the tour book, but we did ask for the anthology on CD, but I see that they expected to sell out fast. Child, I was watching something. Terrence Hilton said, I don't care about no tour book. I was like, okay. He said, I'm a Swiftie, but I don't care enough about no tour. Okay, well, you ain't got to buy it. The Swifties will buy it. And it'll be more money for Taylor to play with. She tried to be the millennial. Oh. Well, yeah, there was a point where she was trying to, because, wait, didn't she host Teen Summit? I remember she used to be on BET with stuff too. I believe. I never sworn Ananda did Teen Summit. Yeah, we know about Dave Holmes. When I be talking about gay face, he definitely had that. Chris Connolly is an investor. Yeah, I've seen him around. So with all that gray hair, was white. It's not even gray. It's white. It's like Jay Leno white. And that she should have done a double mastectomy. Others have done it and are okay. Well, you know what? Like I said, it's like she just thought that she could thug it out. She was doing all the holistic stuff. She wanted to release all the toxins, but I feel like maybe she should have. Well, I don't know. I guess she did the research on it. But if you're sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna let my body do what it does, and my body's intelligent, it's gonna push all that stuff out. That's basically her attitude on it, and she didn't do research on what she should do in regard to that. Should we equate people who do take holistic measures to people who refuse to get their children vaccinated? Like, should we put them in the same category, or is that a reach? Because there's people that believe in that. It's like, oh, I'm not getting my children vaccinated. I'm not giving them the measles and the mumps and all this other stuff. But then there's situations where the kids end up unalive. And, because they didn't get the vaccines needed to fight off these crazy diseases that we have in the world. You say if she had gotten a mastectomy, she could have done flap breast reconstruction after. Oh yeah, they have something like that because I know there's people that get like the mastectomy and then they get stuff where they can have it reconstructed. I've heard those stories. Okay, so child, let's go from breast to talk about penises. That was an interesting transition. And let's talk about Cooper Koch, who's letting it be known that he had that big D energy when he was making Monsters, the Lala Eric Menendez series over at the Netflix. And it's funny, a shout out to Lanier, who I forgot to tag in this, because he did send me a message over on the Twitter, and he was like, oh, this had me thinking about your thing, because literally I was on social media, and this was like a general, just a general question I had. I'm like, y'all think that was really him in that whole situation? And then somebody was like, there was a movie that he did where I guess he does a nude scene, and you see it all. And I forget the name of the movie, but I did see that. I think it's on Prime Video. It's like one of those body horror films that I think he meets some guy at a club. And then Jenna Malone is in it. She's playing like this drug dealer or something or another. And they have to swallow this drug and transport it into Mexico, I think, or something or another. But then when he gets into it, because he's trying to crap it out in the toilet, and this redneck comes into the bathroom and thinks they in there hunching and is a homophobe, and he punches the guy in the stomach, and then he brings it up, and it turns out that something that's in the little bag of drugs is moving. So it's kind of like a drug mule movie, body horror, that sort of thing. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I know it's on Prime Video, and they were saying that it's I guess shows a nude scene with him in it. But y'all probably know what I'm talking about in regards to me describing it. Swallowed. That's what swallowed. I don't know why I didn't think of that. He's swallowed. Shout out to TD Jakes. So Cooper appeared on, I think, Monday on Watch What Happens Live. And he was on it with Phineas, actually, Billy's brother, Billie Eilish. And they were asking about if he wore a prosthetic for that prison shower. See, I saw somebody in the comments asking if he was gay. I'm like, duh. First, I mean, he brought it up, and he's been very open about his sexuality. And I guess it's because, in the interview, he was very much effeminate. I said, we're not going to femme shame up in here. But it's like, yeah, he's very much a queen. Shout out to the queens that made the world go around. But anyway. So in honor of the star, who's 28, he said, showing full frontal nudity in the it was X-rated, in the Netflix crime drama, host Cohen, who's 56, and was thirsting at it, by the way, because, them pre-questions, they was like, oh, are you in a relationship? Because he admitted he had a boyfriend, too. He brought that up. He said, sorry about it, but yeah, he got a boyfriend. Because I'm like, yeah, okay, and he planted that one. Because he like him young, allegedly, but he ain't black, but anyway, let's get off Miss Cohen. Somebody always got to get astray on this show, right? So they said they counted down the 5 most iconic full frontal moments on screen over the years. First of all, when he did that was so stupid, because he even brought up Sharon Stone and Basic Instinct and a bunch of, I'm like, and then some of the people mentioned, I'm like, they didn't have no damn nude scene. There were other people that had nude scenes that wasn't even mentioned. I was like, this top 5 thing is so damn stupid. But anyway. So, as Cohen, he mentioned Mark Wahlberg's prosthetic in Boogie Nights. Koch chimed in also just to say mine was not a prosthetic. And Cohen was going to be, that was going to be my next question. Congratulations to you, Cooper. You're very blessed, aren't you? Wouldn't you like to know? So now, during the show's Clubhouse of Horror segment, Koch was asked about the scariest thing about showing full frontal nudity on camera. He said, it's not scary. I would say it's just more uncomfortable at first, and it's very cold, especially in the shower. He said, adding that the water was warm in the beginning. Well, child, based on when he turned, look, I'm about to turn into Miss Tatum, a.k.a., my girl from, from Scream. But she was like, if he turned just right, you just might see his penis. And it was like, yeah, you do see it when he's turned a certain angle. And if that water was cold, I hate to see what it looked like when it wasn't cold, because there was a lot of meat between me down there. So I don't think the water was all that cold. I'm like, if you carrying all that and the water's cold, can you imagine what it's like when it's erect? And he seemed to be real chummy and real giddy about the fact that he was carrying all that meat. And look, if you well endowed, you got reason to celebrate. Shit, I'd be swinging. Well, no, I was gonna say I'd be swinging. I wouldn't do that. I'm conservative in those situations, but I'm also a hoe when I need to be. I'm in between. So they said Contra also described meeting the Menendez brothers in real life as not super intimidating, saying that I would just say that it's more nerve-wracking because I'm known about them for so long and care so much about them. So yeah, there you have that. And then also I saw this article over at Radar Online where they basically were talking about that there was a letter that was stated that could set abused parent killing Menendez brothers free after 30 years behind bars. Because y'all know that they really out here trying to fight to get them released, and they're revisiting the case. And based off of whether you agree with how Ryan Murphy handled, the story in his show or not, the only positive I can give about it is the fact that people are looking into the case again and finally acknowledging the fact that yes, there is possibility that the Menendez brothers were sexually abused by their father, especially when there was one of the members of Menudo who was abused, as we learned from that docuseries that came out on, I think it was Peacock. So LA attorney, well, so to read that thing, and then we'll get, and then we'll wrap this up because I want y'all to know about the note. So they said that LA District Attorney George Gascon shared a screenshot of the letter written by Eric to his cousin Andy Cano just 8 months before he murdered his parents, Jose and Kitty, with brother Lyle. In the letter, he alluded to suffering serious abuse by his father. Eric wrote, "I've been trying to avoid dad. It's still happening, Andy, but it's worse for me now. I never know when it's going to happen, and it's driving me crazy. Every night I stay up thinking he might come in. I need to put it out of my mind. I know what you said before, but I'm afraid. You just don't know dad like I do. He's crazy. He's warned me 100 times about telling anyone, especially Lyle. Am I a serious wimpus? I don't know. I'll make it through this. I can't handle it, Andy. I need to stop thinking about it." And then they said during the famous trial, Kano, who passed away in 2003, testified that Eric spoke about his father's abuse when he was 13 years old. He stated in court, "Eric told me his father was massaging his peen. He told me never to reveal it to anybody." So all of this came out in the thing, and they still kind of, and that y'all know what happened in that second trial, and it was a hot mess. So I really hope that, people are looking into this, and people will give them the chance and really look into this thing again, and they will go free with time served. So I'm rooting for them. And don't get me wrong, I don't agree with y'all going out here and taking your parents' life when it comes to situations like this. However, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, and they paid their due diligence. They spent over 3 decades in prison for this. And you know what? I ain't saying y'all got to bow down and kiss the ring of Brian Murphy. He's still a piece of shit. But how he handles certain things, even down to this boring season so far of American Horror Stories. I was watching that last night, and I'm like, okay, are y'all going to deliver me an actual good season of these shows? He's just everywhere for no reason. So I saw this and say, what do y'all think of this story? I mean, shout out to you, Cooper, for carrying all that meat between me down there. But also, I'm looking forward to the Menendez brothers going free and finally getting their just due. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so it's I really do believe outside of the gays, nobody's a size queen. Well, wait, I think women are, because I think women make comments about men genitalia too. So I think there are some women that are size queens. But truth be told, anybody out here trying to take, something, I think the ones with, what hurts more, length or width? I think it's the width, because that width really is like you got to put a butt plug up in you to be able to take all that meat. Like Masculine Jason was talking about that because he was having a conversation with in a video I was watching, and he was talking about like one of his worst experiences with a bottom, and he was like, "I told you had to wear a butt plug if you were going to take my meat." And he said at one point his meat turned purple when he stuck it up in him, because it was like you try to, and he said, "I'm a patient man," but it's like, yeah, if you're gonna take somebody who's wide and got a lot of girth, like with certain models, you got to be able to, stretch it on out. Maya has deleted all her social media 2 days before Liam's death. His legal team warned her that the whole world would blame her if something were to happen to him. Well, you know what? That's smart that she did that. And stay off social media because, they said that boy was hard or semi. You could see it soft and it was a girl. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because that was true. It was like, yeah, I couldn't think of nobody off the top of my head when it came to, but Aaliyah definitely was one that hurt. I remember exactly where I was. It was a Sunday when I found that tea out and I gagged. I was like, yeah, that was the one that really hurt because I was a huge Aaliyah fan. I even went to the movies to see Romeo Must Die. That's how hardcore of a fan I was of Aaliyah. Loved all the music, and all that stuff. And then we lost her. Okay, so let's get into our final topic and let's talk about DJ Qualls, who recently did an interview on I was gonna say The Last of Us. But since we were talking about being inside of people, it's called the Inside of You podcast, which is Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. Very popular. A lot of actors go on there. I mean, he's done a lot of really good interviews. I saw one he did. I think he did Alan Richardson twice. He's interviewed a lot of people in Hollywood. I think he also has a podcast with his former Smallville co-star, Tom Welling. I think they do one where they watch the old episodes of Smallville and they break it down and stuff. But Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor on that 10-season series, has a popular podcast called Inside of You. And I did see a couple of days ago, DJ Qualls did an interview with him again, and it's talking about his coming and got a little more candid regarding his coming out story in the episode. So he said, I've been out since 1918, but not here because it wasn't cool when I got here. This is what the actor said of Hollywood on the latest episode of Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast. My very first press junket, the guy who was our EP, a very famous director-producer, told Sean William Scott he almost didn't hire him because he thought I was a bronze with maggot. That's the way it was, said Qualls. I wasn't out of work until I think 2015. I just didn't want to deal with it. But then one day I realized, why should I have to be at craft service and hear a bunch of homophobic ish wrecking my day? Then I was like, they don't want to hear that. I mean, hey, I don't want to hear that. And I get it. It's guy talk, but they don't think about the context of it, but I don't want to hear it. And he says, I wouldn't correct you in front of a group of people, added Qualls, but I definitely will pull you aside and say, hey, I'm gay. Qualls then said that he was cognizant of owning my space at my work, adding, I'm here to do a job. I'm hired because I do that job well, and I deserve respect because I give it. Qualls does not consider himself the thought police, but if I'm here effing 9 times from you, if I'm hearing the F word, I should say, 9 times for you, then I'm trying to butter a bagel, then I don't want to hear that. And that's totally true. Like if you sit up here just like really hammering it home with the homophobia or the racism or even like being real disrespectful to women and stuff, and it's making me uncomfortable. It's like, yeah, I don't want to sit up here and be, that's inappropriate. And I've had to deal with people that do that. And I'm like, okay, now you're being annoying. So I get with that. But also, it's like if I'm a gay guy and I'm around people and y'all saying stuff that's inappropriate and you're basically using the F word. Because I remember I was on the train the other day and these kids was up in there dropping the F bomb and saying all kind, like using that drop. And I'm sitting looking at y'all like, if it was like, I guarantee y'all literally give me like y'all paint people when y'all be doing stuff behind closed doors and y'all paint. That's what y'all be giving with this whole situation. I'm sure you know what I'm saying when I say y'all paint. It's like, but y'all up in here dropping the F-bomb. But I was like, y'all look like the very exact types I be seeing on Twitter. They be posting these little videos of somebody facing your butt. And I'm not talking about a woman. Or that somebody get behind y'all and stick their peen in your behind without a condom and y'all come out on the other end with a mudslide. So they were saying that he came out during an appearance on Comedy Central's The Jim Jeffries Show in 2020, and later confirmed the announcement on social media. And he said that he was tired of people worrying about what they think of him or what people were thinking about him, saying they're tired of worrying about what it would do to my career. And I think that's also another thing too, like when you deal with the executive producer, where you tell someone like Sean William Scott, it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to hire him because he's an F word. And it's like, that's what you have to deal with in Hollywood. Like Hollywood, even though they present themselves as this liberal thing, There's a lot of conservative people. There's a lot of homophobes, a lot of racists, a lot of men who are misogynistic that work behind the scenes and the gatekeepers are pulling the strings. Now we're at a place where it's just like, it's open season that you can create things that can happen for you. And you don't necessarily need a studio to get your work out there. But I do agree, like, you should own your space and own your power. And if you feel in a way that someone is saying something disrespectful and it's really like hitting you in a place that's making you feel uncomfortable and you want to tell them, it's like, oh, hey, like, cut it out with the F stuff. Because I remember I had to tell somebody that when I was in college. A friend of mine, it was like, he used that. I said, oh, don't you use that word towards me. He didn't do it. And he's very open-minded and stuff with things. But it's just like, sometimes you have to stand your ground in certain situations. But in case y'all didn't know, this is his fiance. You know, they both were on Supernatural, where Ty Olsson played a vampire. He was on that season of Supernatural. I think it was season 8 or season 9 or whatever, when Dean got sucked into purgatory, and he needed a vampire to help him get out of purgatory. So that's basically, you know, the one on the right basically played that guy. I remember DJ played Garth on Supernatural. I'm actually still rewatching Supernatural because I love that show. So every now and again, I was actually watching it last night. No, it was the night before. Actually, I was watching Supernatural because I'm rewatching the seasons. So I saw this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, you know what to do, niece. Let me know in the comments down below. Blah. Let me know in the comments down below. Take 2. Okay, so. What's the tape? Now tell me what's the tape. He said people said Smallville was a bad DC show. I'm like, it's not supposed to be a Superman show, but coming of age story. Yeah, because that's exactly what it was. I mean, if y'all want a Superman show, then watch Superman and Lois. Like, they're in their final season. Watch that. Or wait until James Gunn comes out with his Superman next year. You know, yesterday they revealed the photo of Crypto on social media. So if they're trying to say this is not a Superman, it was a bad DC show. It wasn't a bad DC show. I liked what it gave at the time when it gave it, because it was a show I grew up on. I watched all 10 seasons. I just didn't like the idea of, like, the finale felt a little disappointing because it just looked like literally a big red blur, which he was referred to throughout the show. So I was kind of feeling a way about that. Other than that, I liked the show because it was definitely set in it being a coming of age story. And they had to do what they had to do based on the budget that they had, because it was the WB/CW. And you could only do but so much with the money they had over there. It's like years later, yeah, they were able to do the shows that they did with, like, Arrow and, you know, The Flash and all that other stuff with that. But Smallville was what it was at the time that they needed it to be the show that it was. And like I said, if y'all want a Superman show, watch Superman and Lois. It's on, I don't know what channel it's on. Is it on the CW? I know it's on Max, so you can watch it there. But I don't know where it is on regular TV. Let me take that out. Oh, you said, yo, Brat Remix too. I was listening. Funny enough, I was listening to the Brat Remix CD at the gym today. so I was doing my deadlifts, listening to, you know, Charlene. Oh, you know who else album I was listening to? And I was like, why nobody told me that A.G. Cook had an album out? His album is actually pretty good. He had a lot of songs on it. And here's the thing, his songs are longer than, well, the Twat has kept the length of the album is actually longer than Charlie's. He was putting out, like, I'm listening to the album, I'm like, wait a minute, I had to check. I was like, some of the songs was going over 4 minutes. Like, it wasn't 2.5 minute tracks. There were some songs that were short. He even has Charlie on a couple of songs. And I was liking what I was hearing. I was like, I didn't even know A.G. Cook had an album out this year. But I found out when I was scrolling through Apple Music, trying to listen for something, looking for something to listen to. And I happened to come across it. But anyway, so we're at the end of the show. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come on tomorrow or Friday because I am working the speaking of Phineas and Billy. I am working the Billie Eilish show for the next 2 days. So, and she's performing right now, so I'm not working that one, but I am going to be doing the next 2 shows. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can do one early, but it's probably not going to happen because I want to squeeze in a workout and there's some things I got to do. So I'll probably have to come on Saturday and Sunday. I got to feed y'all. So, because I'm sure a lot of stuff is going to come out on the weekend. So I'm going to definitely come back over the weekend and give y'all a show. But unfortunately, yeah, the next 2 days I'm going to be busy with doing Miss Billy's show. And I'll fill y'all in on the show when I come back with a brand new episode. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. If you have not, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, recommend and all that good stuff, the show, you know, and smash the notification button so that way you know when we go live. Because I know sometimes YouTube be playing games when it comes to the notifications. Like some people say they don't get the notifications and things of that nature. So yeah, love you all for watching. And thank you all for tuning in. And all of you that were in the comments, love you, love you, love you. And until next time, ciao, darlings.